Green skin, purple hair. He's a sight to behold, generic troll. The internet suns in gold, keyboard in hand. He's got something to say, on a mission to troll. Gonna cause some dismay. In the World Wide Web, he finds his delight, leaving comments in the dead of the night. British American, he's got a wicked style, kind and loyal, but his intentions quite wild. Jumps on YouTube, king of the stream, spreading havoc, filling his wildest dreams with a mischievous grin. He throws shade without care, bringing laughter and chaos everywhere.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Generic Trial Channel. Hope everybody is doing well. Well, let's go anyway. It's just me here at the moment. Let's give a big shout out to everybody. And we got, so Sean C was the first person here. And then we got my name. I don't know who the bloody hell that is. So who the bloody hell are you? And then we got Jason, Lady Gemini, Queen Bee. We got Nightbot here. We got Steph. Hope everyone's doing well. I just thought I'd go live for a bit because this was, hey Mills, hope you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. I just thought I'd go live for a little bit because I don't know, YouTube's been kind of quiet and I kind of needed a break from playing on the computer too. So I was doing a little bit of gaming. I was feeling up to some gaming today. Nausea pills were working today, luckily enough, but that's been good news. Bloody cold here. It's cold here today. It's like just a little bit above freezing, but boy, have they turned the weather off. Um, but yeah, that's just been one of those. It's just been a chillful day really here in the land of the generic troll. Um, fucking still waiting on my bloody parcel to come. Still stuck in a freaking warehouse with UPS pending. I didn't watch it. I was in the middle of a gaming session, but I'll just watch it later. I'll just watch it later on. So, yeah. So I'll watch it. I'll watch it later on. So hopefully I'm hoping this freaking package gets released tonight, and I can finally be on the friggin' way. A week being stuck in customs is ridiculous. It's too friggin' long. I mean, come on. Not every package that comes from overseas contains drugs or guns or illegal items. Surely you can use freaking X-rays and go, yep, that's fine. Oh my god, they're just so fucking slow. I swear they're pissing me off. So I just missed the stuff from the UK, and I know there's a bunch of candy in there and that crazy mayonnaise that my cousin sent me, and I'm just waiting for that to bloody come. But waiting on fucking customs and UPS, it's so stupid. So that's my rant about the. Yeah, that's my bloody rant about the package. Um, I know Mark Terry was whining and crying and shit about me. Um, but I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. He did not contribute. He did not contribute to the growth of my channel as much as he likes to say it. He did not contribute to the growth. He did not contribute to the growth of this channel. Absolutely nothing to do with me. Him. The channel grew because of me putting me putting the work into it, and of course, me getting support from various people who, have supported my channel since day one. Who I'm definitely grateful for as well. Yeah. Um, I did get up a little bit. I did get up a little bit early today, and I seen Lena and Steve were going at it early in the morning. I think I mean really early. I mean really early in the morning. I think it was like 6 a.m. because I woke up at 6 a.m. I woke up at 6 a.m. and it's been like non-stop on Twitter. Oh my god. Yep, the Kelly Wellies are really good. Um, it's like a caramel toffee, and it's covered in Cadbury's chocolate. It's a, they're really good. One of my favorite things, but yeah, it's like a toffee caramel kind of thing. But they're really good, and they're like Kelly and Well, they're like Kelly and I hate Kimmy K, but yeah, they're really good. Another one you might like if you ever get hold of one is a Chomp. Same caramel as a Kelly Welly, to be honest. That's another decent one. Cadbury's Fudge, another one I miss. I just miss. Yeah, I miss all the chocolate from the UK. To be honest, it's just you can get some of it here, but it's pretty expensive too with all the import shit. Which is why I just bother with Aldi now and just get the freaking and just get the German chocolate from there. So that's what I that's what I bother with. That's what I like. But yeah, I need to go back to Aldi again when I can get that peanut and cornflake covered chocolate. Oh my god, it is so good. Yeah, link if anyone wants to come up and keep me company, the link is posted because I ain't got nothing to talk about apart from the fact that Billings and Lena's been getting on it. They were like getting on it. They were been going on and on and on and on since like 6 o'clock the freaking this morning. I swear, oh my god. So yeah, that's about being as fun as they got, and they're still going on about it too. Yep. And of course, everyone's a bitch, everyone's that. Hello, Miss Amy. Hope you're doing well. Um, doing okay here. Um, Moki is doing good. Yeah, she's fine. I'm so glad the cone's off and she's finally eating and she's still on her antibiotics, which is really good, news. So I'm definitely happy about that. And then Lena was posting pictures today too. Fancy drink. I could do with a. I could do with a fancy drink, but yeah, they started going at each other for 16 hours, 16 hours ago. So it was like 6 o'clock. It was like 6 o'clock this morning. Yeah, because like I woke up early. I went back to bed. Chocolate, oh my god, Amy, chocolate gives you acid reflux. Oh my god, no, I love my chocolate. It's one of my biggest sins in the world is my chocolate. As long as it's decent chocolate, as I said, UK chocolate, Aldi German chocolate. I definitely love my chocolate. So it's one of my it's one of my favorite things. Um, can't believe it. I can't believe it's a week to Thanksgiving and not sure. I'm not even ready for Thanksgiving. Um, to be honest, I'm not even in the mood for Thanksgiving. So I'll just see what happens nearer the time. I remember last year buying stuff for it and just moaning too much about the freaking money I spent for one bloody day. But I don't know I don't even know what I'm doing it yet. Probably cuddle up with Moki and the other doggy, and that's about it. Yeah, no, the problem with me, Miss Amy, is I'm a chocolate. Hey, Trisha G. The problem with hey B Train. The problem with me is if I eat one piece, I have to eat the whole. I have to eat the whole bar. But oh my god, I got some chocolate the other week from Aldi. Um, when Moki after I dropped Moki off at the vets to get spayed, And I only got like a couple, but I didn't buy like a lot. I got a couple of bars. I got the peanut, um, chocolate and peanut, chocolate peanut butter. No, not oh my god, chocolate peanut and cornflake chocolate. And they had a dark chocolate. They had a special holiday one from Germany, and it was like chocolate with mint fondant inside it. That was really good. That was really good. But yeah, that was one of my that was one of my favorite ones. Hey Hub. Hey Cafe Rebuilds, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And then I got my yeah, yeah, she's doing good. She's ate two things of dog food today. She's finally yeah. I'm hoping she'll put hey Sean the Brit, but yeah, I'm hoping she'll put that weight back on because she lost about almost a pound since she had surgery. So I'm hoping she does really good. I'm hoping she'll put that back on again. So which I'm sure she will because she's eating like a princess. I haven't seen the pretzel one yet, Queen Bee. But my favorite they used to do this. Oh my god, they used to do this one with coffee and white chocolate, and it was really good. But I have not seen that for a while. But the cornflake and peanut, that's my favorite one. Um, I just hate how but it's really good. It is. It is really good. But yeah, um, there's not much. There's not much. I don't know. There's just not much. There's not much been happening around. There's not much been happening around YouTube. Really, I think it's been pretty friggin'. I think it's been bloody dead, to be honest. Um, I did get. I did get voice chat banned from Call of Duty earlier because I was cursing a little bit too much. So I've got to watch my freaking language on that game. I only got temporary banned. Um, I did get best kill for a couple of times too. So I'm gonna be putting together like I'm not on not I'm gonna put together a video for myself of on my best kill moments because you know me, I love my gaming. I love my gaming so much. Let's have a look. So. So is everybody in the side chat ready for Thanksgiving, or you not in the mood for it? Hey, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Oh yeah, Nightbot says GT. Says yes, it's GT. Like not like JT, like Cactus says, because Cactus sound like he's saying JT. So that's about it. That's a, that's about it. But yeah, I was gonna say about Mark Terry. I said I noticed a lot of people have been going back to Mark Terry's now. So I'm not sure if they're all going back there for going back there. I definitely won't be going. I definitely won't be going back there, and I'm sure they're all waiting for another shit show to happen with him. That's the only reason why people tend to go back there. So, but I don't go. I don't go in. Yeah. Uh huh. I've never played Skyrim, Miss Amy. I tried playing the new flight simulator today, but I just keep having issues with it. And I do it on cloud gaming because I get it as part of my Game Pass, but I just can't get it to do something on my computer. So I'm like, nope, not playing it until they fix the issue. Uh-oh, it's Takai. Hey Takai, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. No washing up. Oh my god, yep. I love no washing up. I hate doing dishes and I hate having no. I hate washing up myself to be honest. But hey, we got this really. But the good news is we've got this really great news. We got dishwashers. One of the best inventions ever. Dishwa Dishwashers. And also one of the best inventions ever is the bags that go in crock pots. You can just chuck it out, and you ain't gotta clean the crock pot too much either. and that's like one of the best. That's like one of the best inventions ever. Anyway, if anyone wants to come up, as I said, the link is posted. Um, Anybody is welcome on, unless you're on the banned list, then you definitely will not be welcome on the generic troll channel. Definitely. Hey, World at War for Life. It's going okay. I'm surviving. Still dealing with the puppy's doing good. Still dealing with the stomach issues. Been playing Call of Duty for a little bit. Um, that's about as exciting as it gets. Um, I'm celebrating the 1 week anniversary of my package being in customs for a week. Um, they're a bunch of idiots. There we go. Kathy is here. Hey, Kathy, how's it going?
Good. I came up here to find out where your package is in customs. How's your mayonnaise? What kind of mayonnaise was it?
It's pickle. It's mayonnaise. It's called Monster Munch mayonnaise. It's made by Heinz, and Monster Munch is like a corn snack from the UK, and it's pickled onion flavor. And they made a mayonnaise with that flavor in it. So my cousin sent me a package, and I'm sure he'll put other candy in there for me too, and he sent it UPS expedited, and
Pickled
it made
onion.
it left the UK on the 13th. It
Mm.
got to the US on the 14th, and it's been stuck in a warehouse in customs since the 14th.
Oh, they're gonna lose it. Pickled onion. It sounds like sour cream and onion. Yeah.
Nope, completely different.
Oh, okay.
So in it's kind of like, well, pickle they like these pickle these little white the pickle a pickled onion. They pickled them in like a malt vinegar, and oh my god, the taste is so it don't taste long. I mean, it don't taste nothing like those Funyuns. It tastes nothing like them.
Okay.
It tastes so much. Oh my god, it tastes so much better. If you ever see it, pickled onion monster munch. Oh my god, yes, they are so good.
And you sent it United Parcel,
Yeah, yeah, UPS.
and there's nothing they can do. Like you're not hounding them. I'd be hounding them.
I mean, I've been in
Email
co- I,
all
I've
of them.
been I've been in contact with me, and they told me there's nothing they can. UPS told me there's nothing they can do, and then I found the fax number for customs. And I sent them a fax this morning, and told them to hurry up and get the shit together, basically in a
Mm.
nice, polite way.
Yeah, it helps always. I believe in being nice twice, and then the
Yeah,
third time being a
yeah,
little caustic.
yeah,
Um, because if sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes being a caustic is what gets somebody to move. Although dealing with customs is,
Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I swear, because like I've always wondered why certain packages take so long to get to me. Like I remember one time my dad sent me a package, and it was it was a couple of DVDs, it was some other stuff I wanted, and it was a Yorkshire pudding tray. That took about 2 or 3 weeks to get there.
yeah. I remember I had again years ago. I sent my friend, believe it or not, I sent her ice cube trays. It
Yeah,
sounds crazy, but this was years ago. All she could find was those little tiny ice cube, not like like the little the trays. She could only when she moved back to London, she could only find those little tiny ice cubes trays.
yeah,
So I got her these deep ones, these big ones, because she had picked up the American Love of Ice,
mm-hmm,
and it was kind of a half joke. I had been visiting and had kind of a half thank you. I mean, it cost me more to ship them. I was, than two, plastic ice cube trays, and I got stuck in customs. And then they
yeah,
tried to charge her, extra for something stupid at the UK, and she finally got them. But it was like it was a joke gone bad by the end.
yeah. It just gets old. It just gets old waiting for them to hurry up and do it.
Yeah. Have you ever I've got stopped in customs going through the airport. I mean, I have. Just coming back to where they take you to the side and they check your bag or something like that.
The only time, I mean, I've been like stopped the only time I've been stopped by customs, and that was coming back from a day trip from France on my own. and I was a foot passenger on the ferry, and they just wanted to just check what I had, but nothing,
Yeah, I
nothing,
mean, the
nothing,
same with me.
nothing too exciting. But when I've flown between the UK and the States, I've never had an issue with customs. I've always walked through there, nothing to declare line. I've always been fine. Um, a couple of times I've had issues on my boarding pass where they put SSSS on your boarding pass, and you have to go through secondary security screening at every single checkpoint you go to. It gets on my nerves.
What's what's secondary screening? Just do they check your bags or?
They just check you. They just check you for scan. I guess they do I guess they
Oh,
do, but they put you through like extra security when you go through the airports and stuff.
yeah, it's very random. I mean, I mean, I got pulled. It was we
Yeah,
did. It's a
and it's a
we
yeah,
landed at like 5 o'clock in the morning in New York, and there was nobody there.
yeah,
And so it was sort of like, okay, who can we? Let's keep let's keep busy. So, like the first 10 people were just, and they went through the bags. Yeah, and I had nothing. I said I was embarrassed. I had all this candy. This guy had a friend who was Irish
yeah.
born and wanted all this Cadbury chocolate, so I had gotten. So half my bag was chocolate.
Honestly,
I was embarrassed.
I've always been fine getting, the chocolate for customs. I mean, like when I moved here, I flew from Dublin, Ireland, and I was flying to Chicago, and what you may call it, when I was at when I was at the Dublin airport, these airlines have like private security company, and they ask you stupid questions. And
Oh,
this woman got arsy with me, and how did you get to the airport? Where did you stay last night? Do you have a receipt where you stayed? Do you have
oh
this? Do you have that?
God.
And all because I had a visa, and it was an immigration visa, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, oh my god! And of course, it's SSS all on my freaking boarding pass. Oh my god, yeah, a complete nightmare. And then when I was a green card holder, I was flying back from Manchester in England, and I got my UK passport because I fly out on my I fly out on my UK passport, but I had my green card with me,
Uh-huh.
and they had this other stupid security knob jockey, one of those jobs where idiots. And he's like, well, when are you coming back? And I'm like, I'm not coming back. And of course,
Oh, yeah, they usually want that return. Well,
alarm,
depends on.
alarm, alarm bells ringing. So I said, I live in. I said, I'm a green card holder. I live in the States. And then he wanted to see additional ID, so I give him my driving license. And he's moaning because the citizens doesn't match on my passport and my driving license on my green card.
Oh God.
And I'm like, I'm like, well, are you an immigration officer? No, you're not. Mind your own business. You know what I mean? Just,
Yeah.
well, people like that, we call them jobs with that's not his job to determine that. His job's to determine that my ID is valid to go on the plane.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not a terrorist. But oh my god, no. And of course, I've always been, I've always been fine. I've always been fine going for immigration. You know, but one thing I do hate though is I hate going through immigration when I fly back from the UK to the States as a green card holder and now as a citizen, because you have to go through the Spanish Inquisition just to come back in the US. You know, if I flew back to England tomorrow, I can just walk through a gate and put my passport in, and I'll get let in. I don't get the Spanish Inquisition like you do coming back into the States. That's one
Oh, see,
thing.
I've never had that. Yeah.
That's one thing. You have to show your passport to
Yeah.
immigration and customs, and it's like, where you come from? Where did you come from? And then blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my god, yeah. But I can just go back into the UK and no one bothers me. I just put my passport in the machine and the gate will open. I'm free. I'm in the UK again.
Well, you use your British.
When I go in, yeah, I use my when I travel, I leave the US on my US passport and I enter the UK on my UK passport. And then when I leave to go back home to the US, I leave on my US passport. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I only use my. I mean, I can use my US passport to enter the UK, but I'm only allowed. I'm only allowed to enter for so many days. I just can't be dealing with it. It's just easier me using my UK. It's just easy. It's just easier me traveling with two passports.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like Jason Bourne. So
Which passport should I use?
yep. I mean, and if there was if there was a big line to go back into the UK, and the other like, say the UK passport line for UK people was long, but the line for non-UK passports was long. I'd use my US passport just to come in to the UK, just to cut the just to cut the line. But it's a lot more. It's a lot more easier now.
Do they still? I haven't. It's been such a long time. Do they still stamp them?
They don't. The only time I get my passport stamped is when I used to have a green card and come into the US. They would stamp my point of entry on my passport,
Right.
and I
What
would
is it?
have and I have
Yeah.
to fill like I think it's like an I-94 form or something. Because when I applied for citizenship, I had to remember all my travel dates and go online and check them all because they want to know every time you left the country and how long you've been out for. So
Yeah. I remember when I first got the first passport. First time I ever left the country, I was like, I thought it'd be so cool getting stamped. It's like I
yeah,
actually traveled, and the
yeah.
stamps are so innocuous. I think they should make them fancy.
I mean, the only yeah, exactly. The only stamp I've ever had is from the United States, and that was when I went on, and that's when I went to New York City for
Yeah.
vacation, like a 5-day vacation, and
Uh-huh.
I got my passport stamped there. That was the only time I had my passport stamped. European Union over in Europe, no one stamps them. Nothing, nope, nothing.
I know.
Hey,
I was
waffles.
very disappointed. I thought it would have been a cool thing. It was like a nothing. I was very
Yeah,
disappointed.
and it's like I remember going to going on a school trip to with the school to Germany. I went on school trips. We used to go on school trips to France and Germany, and back then the school could put the school could put you on a group passport. So you would
Oh,
just basically the school will just take your put your name and date of birth on it, and they'll apply for it, and then that would allow everyone to go into like Europe and stuff.
makes sense. Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of the reason with the East before even before the EC. Because I mean, I went to France. They didn't was 1, 2, 3. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Um, and that was part of the reason for the EU was to ease of travel.
It was, and I missed those days because when I went, there's time, I would get off the, go on vacation to Spain, and I would just get off the plane and there'd be no one bothering you, just straight from the plane, and then find the coach bus to the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, we used like going to the Caribbean, which when you're New York, it's a very easy. It's vacation,
Hmm.
like the British to connect to Tenerife. Um, where you like I went to the British Virgin Islands, and you just needed a license. That was
Yeah,
pre 9/11, so now everybody needs a passport. But you could go to any of the Caribbean islands with predominantly just a driver's license. But that's gone, which is okay.
and then of course, I remember posting, not posting. I remember backpacking in the French Spanish Pyrenees and just crossing the border from France into Spain in the mountains. There was no, there's
Yeah.
just you just walk straight through, nothing.
Oh, you did the backpacking thing. I wish I just even very young,
Yeah,
I needed a certain modicum of not luxury, but I could never backpack. I can. I admire people who did it because it's just a little rustic for me. I like my hotel rooms, even my Marriott or
I'm just yeah,
even Holiday Inn.
yeah, I get that too. But yeah, I did the backpacking in the French Spanish Pyrenees twice. I mean, it was a great time and stuff.
It sounds like so much fun, and you'd see, but I knew it would not be for me.
So yeah, I'll show you this. But I'll show you a picture. These aren't my pictures because unfortunately there was no digital cameras back in the late 90s.
Fortunately
But
or unfortunately.
yeah, and I wish I had, and I wish yeah, and I wish I took photos. But let me show you. So this is like this is like this is part of the Pyrenees, and this is where I actually went backpacking.
Wow.
And the building there is called the Refuge. Um, you can stay there, you can sleep in there.
Like a
Um,
hostel?
yep, they sell food there, and they sell snacks there. All the supplies are flown in by helicopter. So
Wow.
yeah, you can buy. They sell beer there, but you pay for it. I mean, it's expensive.
Hmm.
It is really expensive. And if can you see can you see the gap on the right hand side where my mouse is?
Where's your mouse? I can't.
Does not show you my mouse on the screen?
I'm looking. Hold on. Let me try the YouTube. I don't see it.
But see the gap. See on the right hand side. There's a gap where look like there's a gap, and you can see blue sky
Yeah.
on the right
Yes.
hand side. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like a
called
view. Yeah.
that's called the Brest de Rolling. And if you walk up there, that's Spain right behind there. That's the French Spanish border.
Ah.
And you can just walk into Spain up there, and you're in Spain. And the
Hey,
French.
Waffles. Go ahead. Sorry. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Okay, I'm here.
sorry. Lovely.
But yeah, that's part of actually where backpacking there. And of course, it was like the beer was expensive. I remember that in the refuges and chocolate. They sold like chocolate because sometimes you need a beer, or sometimes you need a little bit of it, a little bit of energy.
Uh huh.
But that was like one of the places I went to. Let me see another. Let me see another part. Um, doo, doo, doo.
I was just reading. Waffles. I didn't read kids in Thailand with spiked drinks of ethanol. Oh.
Over in Thailand, that were backpacking, I had spiked drinks with ethanol. No, I didn't. I didn't. I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing about that, to be honest. Sounds sick and disturbing. And this is another part of the French side of the Pyrenees. That's called Lake Gobe. But yeah, it's really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like one of the most beautiful landscapes I've seen in my life. I love being there.
That's beautiful.
And I remember going to this little I went to this little Spanish village, and it was called Tola.
Uh huh.
It's a and it's a really old fashioned town. It's, oh my god, it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I'll show you a picture of it now.
Yes. See, that's the. That's the. I guess. But I guess you can do that without just backpacking and driving around. But
Yeah, of course you can.
you can't play. You can't. You can't plan for finding those little towns. I
Yeah,
mean, anywhere, even in the U.S. When you're on vacation,
yeah,
just going off the beaten track and taking a risk. You can't plan those, and that you'll just fall in love with the place.
yeah. And this is a little place called this is a little Spanish town called Tola.
Oh wow, it looks like a Cinderella's castle or something. It's like,
Yep. And I remember there was like, it's old fashioned, cobblestone streets and buildings and stuff. And then there was this restaurant upstairs, and it was a set menu with bread and wine included.
mm-hmm.
And one of the starters was potatoes and cabbage. And that just, and when you've been like living off the dehydrated food you eat in the mountains and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
all the all the fun stuff. I was so excited to have a starter of cabbage and potatoes. I
I
swear.
believe you.
And the red wine kept flowing.
And everything is so was so. I know, like in France, everything was so fresh. I remember they served of all the things I like fell in love with was it was like au gratin potatoes. It was a side dish, but it was so good. And I don't even like them really,
Yeah.
regularly.
Uh-huh.
And if I could have put it in my pocketbook, just dumped it for later eating, I would have. It was just so amazing. And like, so many years later, what do I remember is those stupid potatoes.
Yeah,
It was my favorite dish.
I remember this apple. It was like an apple custard slice, and it was sold by weight. Oh my god, it was so good. And I'm going to some of the campsites. I was excited just to have omelet and French fries.
Yeah, I'd say I don't rough it like I don't. Well, I never
And
have.
that's because the fact that you've been backpacking and living off these dehydrated food,
Yeah,
in the mountains.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
It was it was like a little silver bag, and it would say beef. It would say beef stew or beef bourguignon or something, and you would add hot water to it, and you put it in the bag, and put it in the silver bag, and the bag, you would stare it, and then the bag would expand, and you would eat it.
Right.
And you would just close your eyes and pretend you were eating stew too.
Oh God, what we do?
Kids were offered free drinks in the backpackers. They said because they use ethanol instead of alcohol because it's cheap. Yuck. Yeah.
You have to be careful, unfortunately.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You definitely have to be careful. But I've not heard about that. But I don't tend to watch the news a lot. To be honest, as I've always said, I don't have live TV. So
Well, it's funny. I noticed that. I guess maybe it's here. We get a lot of our newscasts, our local newscasts,
yeah,
tend to include a lot of international news. Maybe it's because it's New York, because I've
yeah,
been other places and watched news and it was very local. You know what I mean? Where they have, what's going on about town and things like that. We
hmm
just don't have it because maybe it's because it's the area I live in. So that kind of story would not, there's so many international ones they show here because there's so many people from all over the world who live here. You know, I,
yeah. Of course I can. Of course I can. Waffles. That's fine. Give me a second. Nine News Australia.
I used to be a real news junkie. I don't watch it as much as I
I
used to.
don't. I don't.
You can
I
go
don't.
down.
To be
Yeah,
honest.
you can get too swept up in it. Oh, it was like real news. I
Well,
mean,
I got the Nine News web. Okay, I got the Nine News website now. Um, I don't see anything. I don't see any. I don't see anything on there, to be honest. Um, let me type in. Let me type in backpackers. I'm on the Nine News website, and it's got interest rates, stabbing, Brazilian president, Queensland flooding, Australians not skipping health insurance payments, um, FBI seizes North Korean websites. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing.
Waffles, is that like, did that happen in the past 24 hours
Uh huh.
has it been going on
Let me
for the
do it.
past
Let me do a
week?
search so if I can do search for backpackers.
And yeah, ethanol maybe?
Okay, there we go. The search things up here now.
Parents' nightmare too. I think.
No, the search. No, I don't see nothing on there. To be honest, if you could give me a link and then I'll share it. But I don't see nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Waffles.
2 days. It's 2 days ago. Yeah.
Let me let me do another search.
God, it feels like Friday.
I know it's
It's wishful
almost.
thinking.
Well, it is Friday morning here.
Yeah, well, yeah, 12:09. But I mean, it feels like the weekend has started, and it hasn't. I still have to go to work. what the mind does.
Oh, I found it on CNN. It says American and Britain among 5 tourists dead as countries warn of suspected methanol poisonings in Laos. A British woman has become the 5th foreign tourist to die in a suspected mass methanol poisoning.
Oh,
Yeah, an Australian teenager, an American, and 2 Danes have died in recent days.
poisoning? Well,
Yeah,
that could just be. It doesn't mean an intentional poisoning.
yeah.
Oh,
Backpacking trip turns to nightmare.
oh.
Countries warn their citizens. What's methanol? Why is it deadly? But yeah, it's on.
That,
It's on there.
that was in Thailand?
Yeah, let me go. I got a video here. Let me play it. Give me a second. I have to go into the YouTube side of things because I don't think I can click on. Can I click on links here?
I don't know.
No, I can't.
Some
I
news
can't.
people, some news channels are. Be careful.
Let me have a look to get onto the YouTube side of things. Oh my god, I can hear myself, and I hate listening to myself.
I know the feeling. You're like, is that my voice? Ugh.
I know. Okay, give me a second. I will share the screen.
Person known to have died after a mass drink poisoning in Laos that killed 2 young Danish women and left 2 Australian teens fighting for their lives. The US State Department on Thursday confirmed the death of one of its citizens in Vientiane, Vienne, a tourist town where at least 10 people have become seriously ill last week from drinking spirits believed to have been laced with methanol, a cheap and deadly form of alcohol. Melbourne friends Bianca Jones and Holly Bowles had been backpacking alongside travellers from all over the world until a night out on November 11 to 12. They had been drinking at the bar of their accommodation, Nana Backpacker Hostel, but their movements after this were unclear.
Right now our daughter remains in intensive care unit in critical condition. She's on life support. We'd just like to thank everyone from back home for all the support and love.
An American man is the 3rd person known to have died after a mass drink poisoning.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
what a nightmare.
I know. So it's a bunch of people putting money before people's lives. You know.
Yeah. And
So
it's so young.
that's all it's that's all it's down to. People putting money before people's lives.
To save some money, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about money. So what's been new with you, Kathy?
Nothing really. We got rain today, which may sound crazy, but we're going, New York, New Jersey area is going. We're going through a bad drought to the point where when I got up this morning to walk the dog, I'm like, my God, it's raining. It hasn't rained in months.
Yeah, I had a wintry mix. We've had a wintry mix today,
Yeah.
but there's like it's been like hey Frank, but it's been the coldest. It's been the coldest day of the year, apart since the new since fall started. Hey coach, long
Hey,
time no
Coach, good
see.
to
Hope
see
hope you're
you.
doing good to see you. Hope you're doing well in the little petite state of Texas.
Yeah, so it was nice to see in a way because we need it desperately. It's been a really, they had a drought and there's been fires and all this other stuff. I mean, nothing compared to other states go through, but it was just sort of, it's weird. It's like I can't remember the last time we had rain, and so I'm just like whenever it rains, from this point till like spring, I'm just like just thank God it's not snow. Thank God it's not snow. That's all because I don't like snow at all.
Yeah, they're calling for more snow potentially at 1 o'clock again, but
Yeah, but
it ain't gonna stick or not, and it's gonna be 39 degrees here. I'm guessing you're talking Celsius, Michael Waffles, which is like if you're talking Celsius, that's
you're,
like Las Vegas temperatures in
you're
July.
some,
So yeah,
yeah,
she's talking big hot temperatures.
that's my kind of weather. I
Oh,
definitely like the warmth.
yeah, the Las Vegas in July temperatures.
So other than that, life is very boring, and I'm not really into Thanksgiving this year. So it's or nor the holidays.
I'm not in the I'm not in the mood for it this year, to be honest either.
And so I guess I should try to get myself a little bit. But it's just exhausting thinking about it.
Yeah, I get that, but yeah, it's I'm definitely not in a Thanksgiving mood myself, to be honest. But yeah, that's Las Vegas temperatures, my girl waffles.
So is your planned um, vacation to Vegas? You got put off. Is it soon ish?
It is. It's gonna be like in the middle of next year.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you still have. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
okay. So you have time.
yeah. I still have time. But yeah, everything was just yeah. It's all it's planned for next year. So
That sounds like fun.
yeah, I mean, as I said, the flight was paid with Sky Miles, so it only cost me $11.20 for the flight,
Even better.
and then I got 2 nights accommodation, complimentary hotel nights, in Vegas too. I'm not a big gambler, so, but I got to, so it's not cost me a lot of money, to be honest.
Uh huh.
So but it's gonna be next year, so hopefully I'll be in a good position. Hopefully I'll start getting my life back to normal next year, to be honest.
35 days till Christmas. Ooh, waffles. You just put it in a reality I wasn't ready for.
Oh my god, I'm not in the mood. I'm not even in the mood. I'm so not. This has probably been first time I'm not been in the mood for the holidays this year, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's this is not
No, it's fine. It's fine.
unusual.
I'm not in the mood for it myself, to be honest. So I get it.
Yeah, some years are more festive than others, and this one is
Yep.
sort of just let's get this. I kind of have philosophy. Let's just get it through it.
Mhm.
It's not exactly healthy, but it's the best way I can do it.
Yep. I'm so honestly, I am so not in the. I am so not. I am so not in the. Not. I'm so not. I'm not in the mood for it.
Do you have any plans of going home?
Nope.
Well, of course, it's really not. It's go or visit family. No.
Yeah, expensive. And it's just too expensive, and then have to worry about dogs getting the dogs babysat, and
Oh yeah, yeah. It gets to a point.
so it's just not worth it, to be honest. I should have just I don't know. I mean, I'd love to go back, but it'll be easier to take if it'll be more easier to take Moki to fly domestically than it
Yes.
would going in, hey, can me cupcakes, then going internationally, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But then there's the other dog, there's the other doggy too. But I don't think I'll be going back for a while yet. It's just I don't know. Flight prices are too expensive, and of course, it's a little bit scary now with the whole. I don't know. I think we're a lot of. I don't want to talk about this too much. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion, but it's a little bit with what's going on in Europe at the moment with World War III
Yeah.
possibly on the pipeline.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be safe going over there. To be honest, I mean, you can read news articles but I'm hearing Europe's preparing for World War III.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm. That's all I'm hearing. But yeah, that's true. I'm no. It's true. But the thing is, Mega Waffles, it's a lot more acceptable in the US for dogs and stuff. Like you can, a lot of hotels accept dogs, and a small dog you can bring on the plane and put
Oh yeah. Moki
on.
would be nothing.
Yep.
I'm always amazed sometimes where you can be sitting next to someone and all of a sudden you realize they have a little dog in a carrier, you weren't even aware of it,
Yeah.
and it goes right under the seat, or so you're not. I remember once there was a puppy, on the plane, and I'm in a carrier, and they let the puppy out, and it got loose a little bit. It was cute,
Yeah.
but you don't realize how many animals are being are being carried through an airport
You
on
know,
domestic.
it happens a lot. I mean, that I'll probably have to, I would probably have to pay, if I took her. I wouldn't, but I don't think it'd be fair on taking her to Vegas, to be honest,
Oh
because
no, it's I mean, I would think one that it's a strange environment, and
yeah,
two, and I don't know. I would think it would be very disconcerting for a dog to, you know, can you leave it in the hotel room? Can
yeah.
you bring it with you, or
I know. Now I think she get, and then she'll end up whining and crying. I probably know it's just not fair.
no,
And yeah. The only time you have to the only time you can't bring a dog with you in the cabin, that's not a service dog, maybe, is when you're going overseas. Then it has to go in the luggage hold, and in special, in special places and stuff. But I'm surviving, Cammy. But like on a domestic flight, small carrier, just underneath the chair, you're good to go.
yeah, yeah. As long if as long as the dog can fit in a carrier that will go under a seat,
Yeah.
they don't blink.
But no,
One,
I just
it's one,
no.
two, three.
I wouldn't take poor Moki. So yeah. So like the person I got her from, she told me just to be careful with her in public with her collar in case someone snatched me from her. So yeah. Um because her collar is so unique. So I got told to be careful with her in public. So I'm really careful with her in public, to be honest. Especially with her being so tiny too. Trisha, okay, Kathy, okay, she's back. Welcome
Hey,
back.
Nova. Yeah, it's
Hey Nova.
yeah, waffles here. I mean, here a lot of hotels you can bring your dog or cat. It's very pet friendly, and people will only go to places that are pet friendly. I mean, I remember when it was like
Hmm.
with Florida, when I lived in Florida, there was a big thing because of with hurricanes, all the shelters had to be pet friendly. Oop,
It's Cafe Rebuilds,
oh,
Cammy
there I go.
Cupcakes.
Yeah, because people wouldn't go to a shelter, hurricane shelter, if they couldn't bring their pets.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And so, yeah, it's very pet centric here.
and I love it. And I love it too. And I love my little bag I got for Moki, my little Moki bag.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about having a little dog, that you can do that.
And that's why, honestly, that's why I prefer little dogs so much. But yeah, I mean, I've seen people walk around the casinos with little chihuahuas and
Yeah,
dogs in
'cause
their hands and stuff.
mine's the size of a small child. It
And I
doesn't
just
fit
couldn't.
anywhere.
I just couldn't bring her. I just couldn't take it to bring her with me. Because I want to do my own things and eat food and walk around and
Exactly, exactly. So,
and her I should be crying in the hotel room.
oh God, yeah, and they know exactly how to do it too.
Yeah.
Or like it's like I can be sitting here all day
Hmm.
and nothing happens. The phone rings, and all of a sudden the dog is up and wants to go out, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah. And I know, and these dogs know when you're going out and doing something.
Oh boy, do they!
They know exactly. Oh my god. Yeah.
And they know how to play it, or maybe it's our own way of thinking it. But
Hmm.
all of a sudden it's like you get that bright shiny face, and that panting smile, like, "Hi, I'm here. Don't forget about me."
Yeah, they know, yeah, they know exactly. And I used to have this, my older big girl I rescued from the animal shelter. She knew exactly when it was feeding time too. Yep, she would come out for feeding time.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, they know. They know. And sometimes they actually try to affect it, so I get the feeling Kruger's going to come up here and start snoring again.
I think it's too cold. I think it's too cold for Kruger to come out, to be honest.
That's right. I always forget the crickets.
Because he gets crappy reception in where he lives, and I think he has. I think it's going to be too. I think it's going to be too cold in Krugerland. So yeah,
That's right. So I guess Kruger's going to be hibernating for the winter.
yeah. He'll be hibernating for the He'll be hibernating for the winter now. Oh yeah, he'll be hibernating. So
So what? Anything else new?
no, just the only thing. I mean, it's been not much really been happening really.
Twitter's been going a little crazy. I don't usually watch it, but it's like all of a sudden, it's like, what is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
Well, Lena was starting at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Was it
Yeah,
that early?
yeah,
I can't tell. It says, so many
yes.
hours ago, but
It
it's
was
like,
like 6 o'clock. It was like 6 o'clock. It was like 6 o'clock It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. She was starting already.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. Her and Steve have been getting. Her and Steve have been getting it all morning, not like non-stop. And then of course she posted some pictures of her. Um, that's about it, and that's it really. Not too much. As I said earlier, people have been going back to Marks, which I won't be going. I won't be going. I won't be going back there.
No, no, I wouldn't either. I mean, I never really went in the first place, but see, unfortunately, so many people aren't streaming, which I understand. So it's leaves that hole open for people
It
looking for
really
something to do.
it does. It's like, I
Fortunately,
don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like the whole community is just. I don't know. It just, as I said, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. It just isn't the same no more.
is there any way? Yeah, I was thinking, is like, what is the way to change it or reinvigorate it? Is there a way, or does the community just die a natural death?
I think it just dies a natural death. To be honest.
Yeah, maybe. Or sooner or later it morphs. People go
You
back
know.
to
You got people. It's kind of like. It's kind of like another. It's kind of like a town, and a big. And a big giant mega mall shop opens, and then all the little everyone just disappears and goes with them.
that's true.
Gets swallowed up.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and then everyone just disappears. Everyone just disappears and goes and stuff. I think YouTube just gets to people so much, and it becomes a big addiction. They have to leave.
Well, and I also, yeah, and it's also it gets it's not dangerous, but it gets to, you know, um, we sit and we talk about like other creators and what's going on in the community, but it
Hmm.
can sometimes get so nasty that nobody wants to go on panel or nobody
Yeah.
wants to because they can be a target for somebody else who's going through a mental crisis.
Hmm.
And so then, who then you think, well, who's left, Because I mean, I'm not the most interesting person, but it's sort of like you want to support people like you, where you're going live, you want to get up on panel just to support you.
Yeah.
At the same time, am I bringing anything interesting to the table anyway?
I mean, there's Beggs,
Oh God.
but nothing. He's just the same old. He's just the same old crap now, and he's getting a lot of views now, and it's because of the he's either sub botting himself, or he's on the YouTube algorithm because of the vertical streaming.
Trish, you haven't done anything to offend me at all. Never. I love saying howdy. You're the only. Take it as a compliment. You're the only person I have ever said howdy to. It's not. It's not in the New York vocabulary. No, not at all.
And the Berg shows the same old crap, same old songs on the guitar and in Mummy's garage. light me
Well,
up light me up like a Christmas tree, and that's it.
yeah, I personally I don't like the screaming, ranting, and raving, and the money thing. So
It's
it's
nothing.
I never watched him. I think I went once. You'd see little clips and stuff, and I went when Jill passed away. I went
Yeah.
into a stream,
Well,
and
that
when it became apparent what the purposes of it was like,
yeah.
that's it. I gave it a chance.
Well, when Jill passed away, I'd never seen his channel so busy in my
Yeah,
life.
I was there. A lot of people went over to try to
Yeah, I remember.
sympathy, and when it became what it was, money and
Hmm.
subs and this and that, and it was like, okay, I tried. You try to, because you do what you do in real life. I mean, somebody passes away that you go, and you go to a wake,
Of
you stop
course.
at the house, bring food. You know what I mean? You make an appearance.
Yep.
And when it became apparent what the apparent, what it was taken for, it was
Of
like,
course.
okay, I made the appearance. I'm out.
Yeah, and in my case this year, when my grandmother died this year, I had to watch the funeral on a freaking stream.
That's amazing that people do that.
It was horrible. I didn't like it, to be honest.
No, I mean that it's because I guess that's because of COVID, where people have streams and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing that you can watch a funeral online. The saddest part is when you see all your family members and
Yeah, and you're far
you can't
away.
see them or talk to them.
Oh, that must be horrible.
And that was the hardest part. I'm watching my mother, I'm watching my auntie, I'm watching my cousins, I'm watching other family members, and I'm sitting there, 4,000 miles away in another time zone, another continent, another country, state, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm dead too, and I'm watching, the funeral from above. Yeah, it's just weird. Like
Yeah.
you see your family, but you can't be there. And it was horrible. GT, are you unblocked from Flacco's? Not unblocked. And there was no co-host offer. The co-host offer was to Jeff the Hulk Hemp, aka as Little Jeff,
Who
and
was
then he
didn't he
declined it.
respectfully decline you?
Yeah, he declined it because I was ready to terminate MER's contract as the co-host, and then
Kick her to the wind, really.
yeah, and have the up and coming Jeff the Hulk Hemp as my new co-host. But he declined it, and I thought he would have been a great co-host, and we would have been big and bigger than his silent. But nope, nope, nope. That's a joke, by the way.
I know. I know. See, I
But
wonder if you could get like three people together, like three streamers that do alternate streams, but always know they'll have a co-host. Like with three people.
yeah,
It's like if you I'm just throwing out names, like you, Cactus and Larry decided to do like a partnership where they don't. Well, I guess you can't do that. Where there'd always be somebody. You'd always have a co-host because I
yeah,
think that I would presume that makes it easier, and you can alternate. If it's too complicated, I guess. Where so
yeah.
just so you'd have support if you wanted to go live, and to encourage people to go live. But I guess you can't do that really.
Some people don't need a co-host and they can talk non-stop, like Bridget, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
She can just, she can just go on and on and on and on and on. Uh, uh,
It's a talent, let me tell you.
she has this really good charisma.
I wish she went live more too.
She has this really good charisma. Really good charisma and talent. So she definitely don't need a co-host. But I enjoy having a co-host and I enjoy having a panel because I can just shoot. I can just shoot the shit because I can only talk so much about
Right.
Loki and the drama and the news and all the other random shit. Having a co-host is great because you just talk and bounce off each other and shoot the shit and everything else. But what was really funny though is when I did offer the Jeff the Hulk Campus my new co-host, Magda thought I was being real,
Oh no.
and she's like, and she's like,
Oh, nice.
and she's like, but I thought MER was doing really well.
Aw. I haven't seen Magna around that much either. Well,
She
we
was
all go
here.
through.
She was here last night. She was here
Yeah.
last night. I think. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Hey Nova, by the way. I did see hello earlier on. I ain't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just, but I think having a co-host is kind of good. Like, it works really well with Tara and Stitches, for example.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, Steve Billings doesn't need a co-host because he has all those crazy people on his
Oh
crazy
my
people
god!
on his.
And sometimes I don't. I catch it more on the replay, but sometimes I'm like, who are they talking about? Because, I mean, he has people up which that seem to, I don't know if it's fat ass dogs or some of his friends, and then you start getting into other people, and I don't know
Uh
who these creators are they're talking about, and there's and sort of sitting there going, what? And sounds worse than this community.
Yeah, it really does,
Oh my god!
and it's just great, and it's just great. It's just great. It's just crazy. Yeah, but he definitely doesn't need a co-host. But I've that's the way I'd be fair doing it. Is just having just talking and just shooting the shit, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, I would think it would be easier, especially if you're doing it a lot, to have somebody that you could bounce things off. And then I would think, there's some days you're more talkative. Or to me, I'm more talkative on some days than
Yeah.
others. So you balance it out.
Uh-huh.
So that's well, you try to participate in a panel, but sometimes it's like, am I, like I said, are you bringing value? I'm too much business crap, but are you bringing value, or are you just bringing it down? Yeah. So it's a hard thing. I remember before I ever got on, I used to be so nervous. Just the thought of getting on somebody's panel.
It do. I mean, it really does. Um, no, Mare is not fired. She's sleeping. I guess she's probably got shit going on in real life. She had, but no, she was fine. She wasn't fired. It was just a joke. But I was looking at when I did my first stream, and I had a quick look at and I remember my first stream. I mean, the first time I went up on panel officially was when I went up on Punky and Faces.
Oh, I remember being there. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it because I had seen you for years in side chats.
And I'm sure everyone was shocked to hear my voice and hear my
Uh-huh.
accent. Yep, because
Absolutely.
I just kept my mouth shut that I was a Brit in the US too. To be
Yeah.
honest.
I know. Well, it's also, you don't expect a well-established troll to finally get up on a panel. It's like, what?
Yep,
It's
yep.
like, wow, wow.
So that was my first official. Thank you, Bubbles. That was my first official time on panel.
What
My
made you
own
decide?
my unofficial time on panel was when I went up on Real Stream News. The I made a
I
little.
never watched him.
Well, I was trolling Rebecca Dill at the time, and
Yeah.
um,
Oh no.
and I was a person called Baba Booey, and I was okay. I was doing a really bad troll to Rebecca, but I just couldn't do it no more. And I just said, "Look, it's not real." I said, "I'm a troll." Blah 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 blah. But I had to believe I was this person, and my job was flying around the states, flying around to different companies, firing people, kind of like that movie with that actor that everyone fancies in it. I forgot what he's called, and that was on the Spectrum. And I didn't like talking on panels, whatever. So people were wondering who this Baba Booey was, saying he was a troll, saying he was that, and then I was going. I came up on Wheel Stream News going, just grunting and saying a couple of things because I was, playing this nervous guy, and and I kind of accidentally, I thought I'd muted my microphone on my phone, and I was saying, "This is great. I'm getting away with this," and they heard it, and and it was all kinds of speculation of who this Baba Booey was. So basically, I ended up, I didn't do not. I just messed with Rebecca Dill really because I was into trolling them at the time. But in the end, I had to call Rebecca saying, "Look, I'm a troll. I'm not a real person. Blah 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 blah. I'm sorry because I just couldn't do it no more. I had a bit of a conscious about it. So
That's good.
yeah, I
That's
just couldn't do that. No, I just couldn't do that no more. It just went. When it was a trial, it was a prank, and it just went a little bit too far.
no,
But
it's good that you noticed, knew it, and that
yeah,
you dealt
yeah.
with it.
And
I
then of
mean, that's
course,
more than most people.
and of course, there was all this speculation of who the Barabee was, but nobody knew it was me. Pam and Ricky were, Pam and Ricky, the Porsche bums. They had all kinds of rumors and speculations on who it was, but nobody would have guessed it was me.
And so I came into the drama community watching Katie, the MFW. So
I,
it was the anti-porch, that with that fight. And in those days, I guess I took it more seriously, or thought, you don't get involved in this kind of stuff. But when he first came on, and years ago, I did, in the sense of, I'm rooting for a side. Now I don't care.
I cannot. Oh my god, I cannot stand MFW. Her voice. Oh my god, her voice just irritates the shit out of me. And I would say it 1,000 times.
Well, that was in the beginning. You know what I mean? That was years.
Yeah, years ago.
Well, so long ago. And if you, God, I don't know how.
But yeah, I came into when Elba was about, and Linda Dill and the Porch Bums. That was when I came about. I used to watch Rosie O'Kelly too.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I don't know. I don't know where. I just don't enjoy Rosie no more, to be honest.
No, Rosie, I occasionally stop in, type of thing, but never got,
There's
really.
there's nobody I recognize no more. All Rosie's old mods are gone.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched when Missy Jen, shows you how many years ago when she.
Yeah, I remember Missy Jen too, and that was right before COVID too. I think it was like 2000.
Yeah, it was before COVID. It was like 2019.
Yeah, it was like 2000. I'm sure it was like 2019 when I first came to the community, because I'm sure that's like where Mama Bear used to go live and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been 2000. It may have been 2019. Yeah,
People call that the good old days now, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, could it be like the good old days? I'm like, the good old days weren't that good. Let me tell you.
But there was more entertaining people, and there was more entertaining people to troll.
That's true. Well, there was more entertaining. Yeah, there was a lot more entertaining people, and although it could get nasty then too.
And there was, and there was all kind, there was all kinds of shit used to go on to. Like I remember when I was like, oh my god, because like when I was emailing Rebecca Dill, and she was emailing me stuff or whatever, and she sent me a link to a YouTube Google to like a, it was like a secret link, and it was like a private, it was like a hidden video, but it was like it was a Google Meets call with the Porch Bums and a bunch of people. And it was like Pam and Ricky just talking shit, and they were speculating who the Baba Booey person was. It was so funny because Pam would just go, well, so and so is this, and so is that, and so is this. Yeah, because as I said before, when I used to still have Patreon links, which were just hidden YouTube channel links, she would always blame Calypso and the pirate ship for doing that.
Oh God, remember that in the boardroom and all this other stuff.
Oh my God! So
back and forth.
When I first came, I remember the boardroom, and when I came in the boardroom one time, I came in a clone account to shoot the shit, and I got a wrench in there for a few minutes until they realized. Until they realized that I wasn't, the real Pam and Ricky, and they took the wrench off me. But I got a wrench in there for a few minutes. That was before, people would actually check the channels to be.
Oh yeah, the go-to channels. Yeah.
Yep.
God.
But I remember the boardroom, the pirate, all those people, yeah, and all those secret calls that Pam and Ricky used to do, talking shit about people, and Pam's false speculations about shit. Yeah, she would just make shit up as she goes along.
Yeah, that's it. They made up so much stuff, and of course, when I believed it in the beginning, you're like, wow, and then when you realize the stuff that there was a lot of stuff going on that you didn't know, and then you got a little jaded about it.
Yeah. Honestly, it was so funny.
Probably better.
Pam would just make Pam would make so much shit up. And then what I used to do as well was when they were oh my god, I used to troll the shit out of them. And when they were I miss those fucking days. I miss those days so much. And when Pam and Ricky was streaming, I had Wicky's cell phone number, and they were trying to play clips from Wicky's phone, on their stream or voicemail stuff. And I would call Wicky's phone when they were trying to do that. So they will try to play clips, and I will be there. Calling Ricky.
Oh God!
And Pam will be getting pissed about it.
Oh no! Yeah, when you look back.
And what I used to do was I used to have there was a time. So what used to happen was there was a time where Pam had this daughter who was autistic.
Yes. Yeah.
And
References. Yeah.
do you remember? There was a time where she was like 18 years old. She went to the Verizon store to get a phone.
Yes.
And where they lived on the Verizon, guy signed up for a tablet, a phone, and all kinds of shit.
Money. Yeah. I remember.
She couldn't afford.
Oh.
So they went back to the Verizon store and got it all cancelled and did this shit. Well, when I used to when they were, I got hold of, I had Wick's number. It was probably and when they were trying to play clips, I would clone my phone number to the Verizon store and where they lived.
God.
Yeah.
God. I'm so oblivious to this kind of stuff. I wouldn't even think of doing it.
So yeah, every time they try to do something with the phone, I would just end up calling. And in the end, they would have to put the cell phone on do not disturb because Pam was getting pissy. Pam was getting pissy about it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I was oh my God, I used to troll the shit out. I used to troll the shit out of them with all kinds of false accounts and all kinds of shit. But I miss them. I missed it, but I mean, I wish the Porsche bombers will come back. To be honest, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I hope they're well wherever they are.
Last time I seen Pam was really sick.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Because they've deleted the channel. They deleted the channel. They deleted the Twitter. Everything's gone. The only thing that's still there is their Patreon, and they've got one paying member still.
Really?
So there's somebody in that community who's paying for their Patreon. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they would charge people on Patreon. And that was before YouTube had memberships.
Yes.
And people would pay so much money for like gold, silver, and and they would have different streams. And the more expensive level was the gold level. And Pam was noticing that the streams were being leaked for the silver level.
Yes.
And she was like, she's trying to work out who it is in the community who's doing it, because she thinks it's somebody in their community paying for this. They're paying for it. And then the gold stream gets leaked out, and Pam is freaking out. Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, it was me. And I said, and the most serious part was Pam was leaking out the stream links without realizing it.
And so there was no mole. Wasn't that the term now? Is there a mole?
Yeah. So So I wasn't paying. I was just helping. I was just paying. I was just helping people. Yeah.
Free marketing.
Save money.
Exactly. Was there anything interesting going on in those meetings?
Yeah, and there's secret Google calls. There was just all kinds of talk behind the scenes. There was that guy. That I remember. There was a bunch. There's a bunch of people. I forgot who the hell they were, to be honest.
Right.
But there was the one with the red ginger dyed hair who was dating Ricky. She was in one of them. There's so many people I forgot.
Yeah. Sometimes if you look on some of these old streams,
and I don't have access to the email account no more. I'm sure they've all gone. I'm sure they've all gone now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all gone now. But they were my favorite. They were my favorite people besides Elbow. They were my favorite person to, So.
Yeah. Well, I knew. I remember when Elbow got blocked. When he lost his channel. Like my first thought was, well, the whole community is based on hating him. What's going to happen?
Yeah. but their Patreon is still up. They were charging $5 a month, and then $10 a month for silver, and $25 a month for gold.
Really?
And they weren't promised. They weren't doing what they were promising. They were supposed to, for silver, for $10 a month, you got two live streams a week plus Friday Night Live, and for gold, it was supposed to be 5 weekly streams plus home cooking.
More? You mean 5 more?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
oh
they
my
were supposed,
God.
but that never happened.
How could you do that? You know what I mean? How could anybody?
Yeah,
You'd have the camera on the whole time, your whole life,
yeah.
and home cooking.
He never did. None of that ever happened. So like they were like, basically, basically they were taking the money and not doing it, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were always off vacation. Oh, no stream this week, no stream this week, no stream this week.
Yeah.
And
Overly ambitious.
but what used to happen was they used to post it on the Patreon, and you would see the link. You couldn't click on the link, so I would have to type the link in, and it would work.
Oh.
Yeah. Type in the link individually, youtube.com/ a bunch of weird,
Right.
yeah, and it would work. And that's how I started getting it. But they didn't know. It was so oh my God, it was so funny. But yeah, they've not streamed since the last time they streamed was in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
On their Patreon. That was September the 7th,
Wow.
2021, I believe. But yeah, they're still taking money. 24 members, and
Really?
one paid member. Yeah, 24 members in their Patreon, one paid member.
Patreon. You can have patrons that don't pay. I don't know anything about Patreon.
I've never used it, to be honest. I just know they used to have it. Basically, I mean, all they did was just charge people for a link. That's all it was. They would just put like a private, a hidden link. It'd be a hidden link on that would be it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's about it, really. And there was someone moaning about them not doing they had their Patreon for like 6. Oh my God, it's been 6 years. Oh my God.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah. And then yes, oh my God, 6 years. Oh my God, 6 bloody. Oh my God, 6 years.
6 years. Oh my God, what does it say about me? To be
Oh
around.
my God. Yep, 6 years. I can't believe it. Oh my God, where's the time go?
I don't know, GTA. I don't know. Scary, isn't it?
It really, oh my God, it really is scary. I just don't know where the time goes. I really don't know where it goes. It just goes so fast. And it's gone. It just goes.
6 years.
Yeah, I cannot believe I've been. Oh my God, I cannot believe I've been in this bloody community for like about 6 years. I swear.
Yeah.
Because when did I create this? I don't remember when I created this channel, to be honest. Because I used to have, I've had a bunch of Twitter accounts. Mama Bear watched, and it was and I did Elbow Travels watch, and then I changed it to Mankind Chicken in a Can. Oh my God, I've had all kinds of accounts. When did I create this channel? Let's have a look. Tell me. Okay. I created this channel in July the 26th, 2020.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I remember when you first started going live because you talked a lot about Nelly. Because I'm, because I'd stop in, but I never watched Nelly, so it was sort of like, not knowing what you were talking about.
I got bored of that pretty quick. Moki's doing good. She's eating good. She's eating twice a day. Yep, she's back to it. She's back to herself, and she's happy the cone is off. She's got a few more days worth of antibiotics left, but she is doing really good. Thank you for asking.
Well, how old is she now?
She is maybe about 6 or 7 months.
Okay. It seems like you've had it for a long time, but really not.
It's not. No, I only got it in the summer.
Yeah, that's true.
and she was about 10. She was about 10 weeks old.
The official dog of the GT channel.
Yep, the mascot and official dog of the GT channel. The little tiny
Hey,
thing.
Spook. Good to see you. Is it late for you or early? Oh, what? Oh no, California's going back, so it's early for you. I wonder when the jail thing is.
Hey, Swoog. The problem is there's two things. One, I don't believe anything that comes out that guy's mouth. And the second problem is there's no way a court case like that takes too much time because he's supposed to be entitled to a fast and speedy trial.
But you can waive it if the
Yeah.
defendant waives it. But it's also but it's a small town. I mean, usually the smaller the faster. Do you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
simply because, but I don't know.
It's a little Mickey Mouse case that needs to be done. It's like the Dave 25 case that went on for weeks and weeks and weeks because he was going to court every couple of weeks because there was all these conferences and stuff going
Well,
on.
that's it. There's a defense. Sometimes you just can be your friend.
Yeah, it just went on and on and on.
People get tired of it and it's not. It's a long time and people get tired and
Yeah,
nothing's
yeah,
happened and finally the court just said get the hell out. You
and
know
that's
what I
why
mean?
and it's like stuff in England. I remember when I did jury service, I did 2K. I had to go to I did jury service for 2 weeks in the UK, and then the second case I was on, it was a stupid case, and it should have been dealt with by the lower court, which is called the magistrates court, and not the crown court. It was just to me it was just a pointless trial and wasted time.
Yeah. I always wanted to go to a court in the UK just to see the outfits, the wigs, and everything like that
It's great.
that
It's
they
great.
wear.
It's good. It's great. It's great. So I'm going. So when I did the first case I was on, I was laughing so much. So it was an assault case, and their defense was they were in a place called Blackpool for the weekend, and I'm gonna change the names,
Yeah.
but one of the guy, the defense, the prosecutor barrister, he's asked all these questions, and you'll notice that the bed and breakfast they stayed in moved, was what some people were saying it was the North Shore, some people were saying it was the South Shore, and the barrister's asking, so you went home and you gave your girlfriend some money and you went to Blackpool for the weekend and didn't tell her, or it was all stuff like this. And this guy's going, well, and then another witness is saying, well, I went, and another witness has been asked, well, who did he go with? Well, I went with I went with Big Bags, and another guy called Crippled Charlie. and they're explaining to the court why this guy's called Crippled Charlie.
Oh my God.
And I could not, I could not stop laughing. And all these people are testifying that they all went to Blackpool for the weekend when the assault happened, blah blah
With
blah blah blah.
with crippled
And
Charlie.
then what my favorite part was this guy comes up as a witness, and the prosecutor barrister says to him, "You're not exactly an honest man, are you?" And he's looking, and he goes, "You were in court, weren't you? Only a few weeks ago." No, what was it for? Can you tell the court what was it for? And the guy says, perverting the course of justice. And he's explaining that he bought a fake insurance cover note from a gypsy.
Oh God.
So they were trying to say, he's not an honest person, not to believe him as a witness. So it was a funny case. Some of it was comical, to be honest, and I was the foreman of the jury, so I got to stand and say guilty, guilty, not guilty.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, years ago in New York, you were exempt. Attorneys were exempt from jury duty. But then they decided, well, that was not that wasn't a fair thing to do. So they changed the law. So
Uh-huh.
when the law changed, everybody, all the attorneys who had never been called, were called. All of a sudden, this big group of people were called at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had to go to. I was supposed to pick a jury, and I had to go to the judge, and I'm like, Your Honor, I can't. I have to serve on a jury. And he looked at me. I was like, Here's my notice. So I had to adjourn a trial so that I could sit on the trial, which obviously I didn't get picked because I
So
mean it's yeah,
so are you an attorney?
yeah, yeah,
What kind of law
yeah.
do you practice? What kind of law do you practice? I
Well,
didn't I didn't know that.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've done a little of everything. Not everything. I haven't done criminal work. Right now, I'm kind of semi-retired, so
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of do document review and things like that. But
Okay.
years ago, I used to. I worked with an insurance company, so anything that had insurance, your
Oh, okay.
insurance will hire me.
Mm-hmm.
Car accidents, but then you start getting into med mal. I've been on restaurant, poisoning cases.
Yeah.
Anything that insurance is involved, and you'd be surprised. Defamation,
Yeah.
all always on predominantly on the defense. I mean, I've done other things. I've done a lot of other things since then, and you know, wills, trust, a little bit of more of a general practice than a specialty.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but it's been a long time, since I did that. It's a lot of work, long days. Versus now, I don't have to do the long days. So, but yeah, that was and I wouldn't put me on a jury either, simply because I used to do defense work.
Yeah.
So, and even though, because there's so many people who have law degrees who don't practice. I think there's like 90 to 95% of people who have law degrees are not what people think of your traditional in a courtroom lawyer. You know what I mean? So the change of the law made sense, but it used to be believed that if somebody had a law degree, well, you wouldn't want them sitting on a jury because the other jurors may actually listen to them more, or they'd be explaining things that shouldn't be explained, like
Yeah.
with like in criminal cases, most times your history isn't allowed. It's not in evidence. Simply because you committed another crime doesn't mean you committed the crime you're charged for. But most attorneys know that. And most people know that now. But years ago, there was thought, well, somebody it gives a juror too much weight simply having a law degree. But I don't know, I think people are much more sophisticated than that. So that's why they changed the law,
Yeah, of
which is
course,
only
because
fair.
it's all because if I want, if I'm on a jury trial and I want somebody, I want somebody with brains and intelligence, on my, you know,
Well, just because you have a law degree doesn't mean you're
I know, but it does not, it doesn't have to be a law degree, but someone with a bit of a bit of common sense,
Yeah, common sense. That's the main thing. Yeah, there is a lot of defamation waffles, but and there's a lot of law. I try to stay away from it. I don't want to get not involved in it. It just doesn't really interest me.
Yeah,
But it's funny waffles. There's an acquaintance I met. She was from one of the African countries, and they do. It was Ghana, I think. And she was showing me because we were just
yeah.
talking, and that they wear, even in Ghana, they wear the wigs because they were a British colony. They wear the wigs and the robes to court. I'm fascinated with that. I couldn't imagine having to do that, to wear that outfit every day. It was bad enough, but but it does look fun. That's what I've always wanted to see. To actually see people in real life actually walking around with
I
that
mean,
outfit.
if I was a lot younger, I think I would like to be like an immigration. I'd probably like to be an immigration lawyer or
Mm-hmm.
something,
Mm.
because
Was it?
I did I did all my immigration myself, and I'm kind of familiar with the process and everything else. I'd probably like to do something like that, or become like a disability lawyer or something. If it was a lot,
Yeah.
yeah, if it was a lot young, if it was a lot younger.
Yeah, the wigs. I think the wigs are a riot.
All
Well,
the wigs are, yeah, the wigs are. the wigs are great because I did study a little bit of law in the UK too, and I know the like Australian legal systems based on the UK system, so a lot of things, are similar. And I
Yeah,
remember, I remember some of the cases we learn about in law. The like big, the like big precedents. And one of the ones I always remember was one called the Crown versus Brown, and that was like about a bunch of homosexuals who were into S&M, and they were actually hurting each other, and they were consenting to it, but they all got charged with GBH and actual bodily harm.
hmm
And they said, even though I know what they were saying, and then the law was, well, even though they consented, they were still getting, like you're still committing the crime.
yeah,
Just crazy stuff like that. And then there was another case called Donahue versus Stevenson, and that one did the, did duty of care. So there's all kinds of shit like that. I remember.
yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. Was I watching? I love old movies. I was just watching
Yeah,
Judgment at Nuremberg, which was, I don't know if you're a Spencer Tracy, if you like, it's just a Spencer Tracy old movie.
yeah.
Some good, and Max one side down.
But yeah, and I mean, and you're talking about defamation of character too. There was a great one about there was a golf club in the UK, and the defendants were the proprietors and the secretary of the club, and the members were not allowed to put notices on the club without permission, and they had some kind of gambling machines which I believe were illegal, and they put like they put on they put all kind they got into trouble because someone put a thing saying but he who gave the game away shall burn in hell and rue the day. And the claimant brought libel action alleging the defendant put up the notice, and that he had reported the machine to the police, but they didn't get away with defamation of character because it was in their duty to report the machines.
well, now it's like
Yeah,
you can get insurance against defamation, and that's what they're recommending
yeah.
all YouTube creators do. Is that the kind of insurance you can get? Is if you have a YouTube channel, a good YouTube channel, get defamation uh,
But
insurance.
it's but it's so hard to isn't it hard to do a defamation of character court case though?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not
You
easy.
know, and it's like it's like costly too, and and it's costly, and it's a lot of money. Plus, you're suing people who haven't got you haven't got no money in the first place.
Well, that's it. That's it. You're suing
Yeah,
people who have no money, and you don't get, and with a lot of depending, and there's so many different states and different rules and things like that. But with a lot of lawsuits, especially in the United States, you don't get attorney's fees. There has to be a specific provision that allows you to sue to get your attorney's fees
hmm
back.
yeah,
So I remember the insurance company I was working for, they were managing General Motors claims,
hmm
right? And one of the claims managers came in and said, well, it was a product liability case, but it's like, we just won in Detroit. The plaintiff would have taken $200,000, and it took us $1 million to defend it.
yeah,
Now who won? You
yeah,
know,
of course, yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, because and then you had with the it's not just attorney's fees. There's a lot of other costs involved. So an ordinary person, it gets more and more difficult to do that, and
yeah,
especially on YouTube. I mean, because you have to go to a different state. Can you imagine having to fly to another state just because of a lawsuit? Oh God.
yeah, because you couldn't do it. You probably wouldn't let you do it on Zoom, and you have to be there in person. But
Well,
you-
now, yeah, they do allow a lot of Zoom things, but
do you remember the yeah, probably since ago, but do you remember but do you remember the person who they were called Restream Base?
no.
There was a person called Restream Base, and they started off restreaming Mark, and then they got bored of Mark, and then they started restreaming MFW.
Yes, I do remember that.
And MFW, I helped them with the strikes, but MFW, was was threatening to take that person to court, and she was claiming she was doing this and she was doing that, and she went to the she went to the courthouse and spoke to a magistrate in Indiana, and she was going to do this and do that.
You can't do it where you live. You have to do it where they live.
And she got and exactly. And MFW was just trying to get MFW was just scamming money off people to pay for her, and she was scamming money off people to pay for a non-existent lawyer.
Oh yeah, that's a big one nowadays.
And and all these cookies, and I'm like, and I'm telling him, and I'm telling WeStream News, I'm like, WeStream Base, the lady, the girl, whoever it is. I'm like, it will, it cost her. She has to get a copyright lawyer, and it will cost her thousands of dollars to pay for a lawyer, and it's not cheap doing a copyright claim. Plus, she's not monetized, she's not losing no money, her content's got no value. She's just, she's just full of shit.
Exactly. I mean, there are cases that are per se, what they call per se, which is you presume. You don't have to show damages. You presume it.
Yeah.
They have to be, but they're very specific category. And and again, it depends on each state. But yeah, you have to prove damages. I mean, and first of all, and how do you prove it's not easy? But people are doing it. It seems to be more and more court cases people are talking about where the involving the channel, the person on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just a true crime where there's just a couple of people suing. And there's so many lawyers now who have their own channels. Well, it's not surprising, but
there is I know there's a few lawyers I follow on TikTok.
I just signed up for TikTok. I don't know. I've never been into. I don't even know how to use it. So I figured I would give it a shot because I like travel videos. I like people going to different places and and walking through. Like to me, even New York City, I like to watch the people who do the where to go in New York in 3 days if you're visiting. I like those kind of videos.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way too. Because I used to watch a lot of Vegas. In the past, I used to watch a lot of Vegas videos and figure stuff out and and plan my inventory and plan what I was doing and make a plan in my head with what I was doing.
Yeah. We talked. There's one channel. All he does is review hotel suites. I mean, you look at some of these suites; they're unbelievable. They cost thousands and thousands of dollars a day. Not that I would ever be able to stay in one, but and I don't know why I'm like so intrigued of looking at hotel rooms.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why am I doing this? I don't know. It's like the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Maybe that's it.
And I've seen the price of these hotel suites in Vegas, and I'm like, nope, cannot. I wouldn't. People. I wouldn't want to waste money on a hotel that I don't want to. My opinion is, in Vegas, you're there. The hotel is for sleeping in.
I'm a little. I mean, I wouldn't spend the kind of money that. I mean, they're doing it more just for this, because people like to watch it, like me. But
of course, people enjoy watching that shit. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there is. I mean, I like a nice hotel room. I mean, I have to admit, because even though they say you have to sleep there, but you do. It is nice, and the nicer the hotels, the nicer. I mean, there's the linens, the this, the that, the
I agree there too. I mean, I don't stay in dives. Like the last time I stayed in Vegas, I spent 2 nights in Mandalay Bay, and then I spent 2 nights in New York. I love both hotels. Different, both hotels are different, but the room in Mandalay Bay was outstanding. It's probably like the nicest hotel I've ever stayed in my life. Like like a TV in the bathroom and everything, a TV in the mirror in the bathroom. It was great.
Once I stayed in a really nice suite, but it was to do with a charity. I mean that it was an auction at a charity, and I got a little involved with the auction, so I got it at a really great price. And it was in New York and at the Pierre, and so I I won, quote unquote. I was like, that's where I learned don't go to auctions, because I got too wrapped up in it, and like, what did I just spend? But and it was just so I scheduled. Luckily, St. Patrick's Day was on a Saturday, so it was a weekend at the Pierre. Um, so I scheduled there so to be in the city. I had never been through St. Patrick's Day, but I ended up having a small party at the suite, so I didn't see St. Patrick's Day anyway. I've never been to St. Patrick's Day in New York.
He's Kruger having his last cigarette outside in the cold before he goes to bed.
All the crickets are dead. All the
Yeah,
crickets are gone.
all the crickets are frozen now. They'll be back again. They'll be back again next year.
But it was nice. It was like that suite was lovely. It was such a lovely weekend.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I do like a nice hotel room, but I don't. I don't like. I like my complimentary nights in Vegas. That's why.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
most
no.
of my stuff is. So
It was a once in a lifetime thing.
exactly. If it's like it's once in lifetime. It's like I've flown first class once. Flying back from Philadelphia to Manchester, England, and that
Yeah,
was a once in a lifetime experience too.
right. Yeah, I've done business class, but not well, once first class, but it was nothing. It was a hop. So it was sort of like you want to upgrade for $20. Sure, oh, $20
Yeah,
for
yeah.
20 minutes in the air. What the hell?
I mean, it was not. I mean, it was not. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I got on the plane. It was U.S. Airways when they were before they merged with American, and I was sitting there on this nice chair drinking champagne
Hmm.
in a business class seat, watching the um people come into economy class, me
Yeah.
drinking my champagne, and then the air attendant had the cheek to move me to first into a bed.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, it's a tough life.
I
Yeah,
couldn't believe. I
I
couldn't.
love watching those videos too of people
Yeah.
that's sitting in first class and now, but and most, I mean, all economy for me, it seems. As long as I'm not in the middle row, I'm happy.
I fly, I mean, I fly economy, I fly economy too. When I was flying back from the last concert, the OMD concert I went to, from Atlanta, I had enough miles to get an upgrade to first class, and it was domestic. It wasn't like the longest flight, but what I did like was I got to go for the first class security, and there was no line,
Oh, that's nice.
and that was nice, especially in Atlanta airport.
Yeah.
Walked straight through security. It was nice, and it was worth it just for that. I mean, it was I just had time to have a beer on the plane. That's about it. But it
Hmm.
was it was all right. I'll be fair the first class train travel in the UK if you can get that cheap.
I've never done train travel, and again, the videos I've been watching, it looks,
Hmm.
I there's some really nice trains out there. You know,
Um, I mean it. I mean it. Really. I mean it. Really. It really is. I mean, so when I was growing up, last time I was in the UK, because I told you I had to leave a day earlier,
right,
because of the blah blah blah, because you can't change train tickets. So the first class train ticket was only like 20 extra pounds, and
right.
first class lounge at the train station, London Euston. They had like complimentary drinks and muffins and stuff. And then I got on the train, and then it was I had a nice cup of English tea, bacon butty, beer, all kinds of stuff. It was nice.
They don't seem to have. I don't know if they have that in the U.S.
Yeah,
as much as in Europe, or the different classes. And some of these the train trips themselves are the vacation. You know what I mean? Versus
yeah.
here, it's like you get on an Amtrak just to get that go.
I mean,
You know,
it was not. It was not. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. It really was.
yeah,
It really was. It really was nice.
yeah. It was. I've had been watching some of these in through Scotland.
Hmm.
These first class, and it's like, wow, look at these trains. It's
Uh huh.
just really unbelievably nice, and
Yeah.
said the vacation in and of itself. Um, Staying on some of these really beautiful trains, where very then you have your own room, the bathroom on this shower. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know. I don't think we have anything like that here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They have like there's a big overnight sleeper train that goes from London to Scotland. They've got like shower. They has a show on it in cabin.
Yeah,
In
the Royal Scotsman.
yeah, sleeper trains, whatever they call it. But yeah, the big sleeper trains. Never been on a sleeper train before.
They look but they look expensive. That's what they do. They look
Yeah.
expensive. But it looks like fun.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not too. Yeah, it's not too bad if you know.
it's not too bad if you could do it first class, basically.
Yeah, correct.
You
And
know,
and it's it used to be really good if you could actually with them being so being so cheap and stuff. Let me see if I can find.
and of course, the dream was the Orient Express. Right?
I've seen it at London Victoria Station, just never been posh, and just never been posh enough to go on it.
I've watched videos of people who've
Of
taken
course, yeah,
how many thousands of dollars for 20 hours on a train.
yeah. Let me see
And
if
I
I can.
think I read the Agatha Christie book. That's the closest I've ever.
Yeah, the closest. That's the closest I've been on there too.
Have a good night, Kruger.
Usually, hey Kruger, have a great night with the flame muffins and your cigarettes and all that fun stuff, and have a great night. And I will catch you again. I will catch you again soon. Let me see what we got. There's a lot of search on here. Photos. Look. So I remember where all my photos on from my last trip to the UK are, and I can't bloody find. I they're saved somewhere.
Right.
Just a complete pain. I got all kinds of memes and YouTube junk and screenshots all saved, but I can never find the ones. I can never find the ones I want. Is this the right? Is this the right account? That might be an issue too. Check.
Excuse me.
Make sure this is the right account.
Yeah, it's not the old. Bring out the photo album. God.
Oh, that's why it's the wrong account. There we go. No, it's the wrong account. That's why. I can't.
Waffles, you're making me jealous.
Well, what's
The heat? A hot night. I don't know where you are, how hot it is, but it's cold here and it's rainy. Much needed rain, but it's raining, so it goes right through me. I don't like the cold.
I'm the same way too. I like it cooler. I just hate the bitter cold, like these horrible extreme cold US.
Well, the season now, it's once Christmas is over, it just gets to be, January and February. I know February is the shortest month, but to me, it's the longest month because and I'm not looking forward to this winter.
I know I'm not. I just hate that. It's honestly, it's the whole, it's the whole cold extreme temperatures. I really honestly, that's what I hate so much.
Yeah. And we've been pretty lucky with snow for the past couple of years, so it's sort of like, are we due? And this weather's been beautiful, so it's like, are we due for snow? And I do not like the snow.
And it's just extreme. It's just like minus freaking 0 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. That's the temperatures I really hate so much. And they're the ones I try to, they're the ones I avoid with as much as I can.
Crunchy lawn. Oh, waffles. It's still early for your summer. You must be in a really warm climate. Yeah, Australia. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Australia, it's such a big country. I mean, it's a continent. That you'd have, different areas would have different weather. But it always seems people with Australia, you have a lot of heat there.
They do, and everything's upside down. I remember my mom's cousin. She lived in Australia, and she was telling me they used to barbecue on Christmas Day on the beach.
Yep.
And it's just great. And it's just crazy. and it's just crazy. It's just crazy stuff like that. What they used to do.
So it's your, I guess, so it's your summer. That's a place I would love to go to, is Australia.
Yeah, I got family there. I got a place to stay. I just never made it
Oh,
there. I've never made it there. My dad's cousin lives in Australia, so yeah, my nan's sister moved over there when I was, when they were back in the 60s, maybe.
long
Mm.
flight. I know that. Yeah.
They were like on a boat,
Okay.
but yeah, they went on a boat. They went to Australia. Yeah, they went to Australia. They
Four
went on,
seasons in one day. Oh.
yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
Spring right now. Yeah. Do you get snow in Australia, in that area? Do you get that kind of weather as well? Waffles, where it's snow in the winter? Because I was surprised where I think you said it, GT, that
Yeah,
in England you don't really get snow that much, so the whole country shuts down.
yeah, it's true. I
And
mean, yeah.
you're further north than us, or when
Hmm.
us as in New York. When you look on a map, England's further up, but I think they get the trade winds or something, so it keeps somewhat warmer. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I was thinking when I was at school in the UK, I never ever missed a day of school because of snow. And
Mhm.
then probably when I was over here, they had really bad snow. They closed the schools down,
Oh yeah, we
and
always had snow days.
that never happened. That never happened. We never had a snow day. And the only time I missed school was back. And I remember. Was like this, first, they had those teacher training days, and
Yeah.
and my nan used to always say, teacher's worst, mother's pest.
What was
uh,
it? What did you say?
they were called teacher training days,
Uh-huh.
where the teachers would come into school with no pupils. So
Right.
my nan used to call it, teacher's worst, mother's pest.
That's cute.
And and then of course, back in the 1980s, there was there was teacher strikes. That was when the Iron Lady was the Prime Minister in the UK.
Right. Okay.
So me going to school, we had a lot of teacher strikes going on. So you couldn't go to school because there was no teachers because they were all on strike. And then one day in high school we had a strike, and then we had like 2 days off because the school lost power and you had to dig the playground up to put a new cable in there. So
Okay.
we had
Oh,
like
there was nothing like a snow day. There's nothing like going, watching it when you're little, looking out, seeing it snow, and then hoping the next day um, you wouldn't have school, and then it actually happening. You wake up and it's cold and snowy outside, and you're looking out the window, and there's no school for that day. That was great.
nope, never had a snow day in my life.
Yeah, I could, but it's so surprising with weather patterns how.
Yeah. And I missed out on that. But I guess you guys never had teacher strikes, so I guess
No,
it
we
hurt.
didn't actually, even though in this
Yeah.
area the teachers are unionized. Other areas of the country, the teachers aren't
Hmm.
even in a union for some of them.
Yeah. But yeah,
But no, we didn't really have strikes.
yeah, there was like two unions for teachers. I think one was called NUT, National Union of Teachers. It was called the NUT, but we used to call it NUT. So and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, but that was the only time I missed school back in the old days.
Oh, in the old days, yeah.
But I feel this makes me feel old. This makes me feel freaking old now. It really does.
Sorry about that.
It's life. It's life. It happens. It's just, it's just part of, it's just part of being old.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a lot older than you.
Part of, part of being, just part of being old. But they were the days. But yeah, I'll just go through the photos on my phone really quickly too, and I took pictures. I took photos of Moki's incision. Oh my god, it healed up so. Oh my god, in a week made such a difference.
Sure.
Oh my
Sure.
god, it really did.
Poor thing.
I know, she's my little baby. She's my little baby. She is. She's my. So I'll get Victoria Bola snows in Victoria. Okay, I didn't know it snowed in Australia too, because like every time I used to watch Neighbours and Home and Away waffles, Australian soap operas we used to get in the UK. It was they were always perceived. It was always perceived as being sunny in Australia.
Oh, age is a little more than just, it is a number, but I tell that to my knee, and my knee goes, haha, we
Hmm.
don't. Sorry, it's an old knee. It only does so much, and then it gets mad.
Yeah, it was always it was always but it was always snow. Age is just a number, guys. Yeah, I know it's just a number, but you know I I'm just so freaking old. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it was my girl waffles. It's just amazing how quickly the Saroma and everything else has just gone down in a w- in a week. So
Imagine if they didn't have antibiotics.
I know. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I just couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe it. How well it looked. So yeah, because I seen she escaped from that. She escaped from that surgical jacket, of course, and I checked it and I checked the black. I seen there was all leakage on there, and I thought, oh my god, that looks scary. So I took a picture and sent it
That's
to
what
the. Yeah.
that's what I wanted to be. I guess that people do when I was little. I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I guess that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
I
I
was
wanted
just
to be.
in science.
I wanted to be a journalist.
Really?
Hmm.
Do you like writing?
Um, I like some. I like some. It depends what I'm writing about. If it's something I'm really interested in, I love writing.
Hmm.
But like, if it's something I hate, I will just, I would. Oh my god, I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
It's like it's like some of the essays I wrote at college. Um, I hated doing so many essays. It was, I don't know. I would just leave it until as late as I could.
Me too.
'Cause I just couldn't.
You need that adrenaline to get you to finally finish the
But
stuff.
I still, but even though I left it to the last minute, and people say, "Well, you should have planned it. You should have planned it." I still passed 4 marks.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it. You knew what
yeah,
you could get away with,
yeah.
which is still the way you live now.
I knew what I could, I knew what I could, I knew what I could do. But I did a English, I did an English, a decom, English decom, English composition class or something, 101,
Hmm.
and I had not studied English for ages, and I remember one. I forgot what the hell I wrote. I remember one of them. I had to do an essay, and that was one of the subjects was about. So one of the things, one of the essays was about should college college sports people be paid.
Hmm.
So I wrote the essay arguing about that they should be paid. Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I was up all night finishing that off because I was going to England a day early, and I wanted to get it in before so I could just enjoy my vacation to England, because my trip to England was planned around my college classes,
Hmm.
and I passed that too. But yeah, I don't mind. I enjoy writing, but if it's something I enjoy and like doing, um, I did a thing on there one of the classes I did on my degree, easy class, easy A, and that was it was a music class,
Mm.
um, music appreciation, and it was about it was about the history of about the history of music or something. And one of the things I did was I did a I did a WordPress page and it was like it was about your life in music. So I just wrote about how music influenced my life. With
Mm-hmm.
videos, with like YouTube links and copies of albums and
Well,
stuff like that.
well, I remember even in high school, you had to take the art appreciation classes, or
Hmm.
history of art, and that you're thinking, I'll never use it. But let me tell you something. Every once in a
Yeah,
while, something will come back.
yeah,
That it wasn't a waste. Because
yeah.
never use it. It's such a waste of time. Why do I have to learn about these paintings from the medieval times and all this?
Hmm.
Let's say I like history, but it comes back.
Hmm.
Uh, it's amazing.
So yeah, but yeah, I was I was writing but yeah, the history of music. I remember there was like it was like secular music and non-secular music or something,
Uh-huh.
and I just wrote about I just did a web page, and she looked at it. And I got 4 months on it. She said this is really good. But
Yeah.
I thought I'd do something a little bit. I thought I'd do something a little bit different, be a little bit more creative. So I did it on WordPress, and I wrote about OMD and how they're from the next town from me, and how I did this with them and did that, and how I met photos of me meeting them and stuff. It was really great.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, it was good, but and I said before, when the worst cut there were some courses I hated doing in college.
Well, yeah, I was never good with science or math, and
Hmm.
that's literature, the writing, that kind of thing, but not math, and
Yeah.
especially not science. I was like, I can study it, I can give it back to you verbatim, but I just don't get it.
Hmm.
It's not the way my mind thinks. Because yeah, I mean, some classes I remember and sometimes you learn, you get the teacher. I mean, I had to take statistics, and
Yes,
one
that's
of
the,
my
that's what I was about to say. I did statistics,
oh my god, it
and
was one of my last classes. It was like between me and the degree, and I
mhm,
was like, but you found, you hear, and you get the right student. I always learned, it's like the class would always be full, so you go to the teacher the first day and
mhm,
ask them if they'll let you in the class, and they always said yes, as long as there were seats, and there always was. So it was a way of getting around the, you can't take that class with that teacher type of thing. And I got this teacher. She was wonderful. She just, I remember sitting thinking, I understand this. I can't believe I absolutely understand this. And in those situations, the teacher really makes a big difference, you know,
I mean,
because,
it's hard to, I did mine online. It was like, oh my, it was, oh my God.
yeah, that's tough. That's tough too. Um, so yeah, statistics and, oh God, it was like a it was like a algebra
Yeah.
calculus type of. I was always good in algebra, but man, once you get into calculus, forget it. And I was
Oh
taking it
my
on
God.
like a graduate level. It was like, oh my god, and everybody. It was one of when it's required, they're a little nicer, in the sense of because everybody has to take it. And there are people who don't, obviously aren't good at it. But what a struggle and what a waste of money.
Oh my God. It was, oh my God. It was, I mean, I hadn't done math since I left high school back in the,
Yeah, to go
back.
back to it. Oh my
And
god.
I'm like, my brain was like, my brain was fresh. And the statistics was the last course before I graduated.
Yep.
And I was worried about it too because I don't like math. Me and maths, I can add, I can divide, I can subtract. Me and algebra, me and formulas do not get along. And I see the statistics class, and I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared, and I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to do that. I'm like, oh my God, and yeah, I'm like, this is make it, this is make it break it because as I said, my GPA at the time was still a 4,
Oh, good for you.
and you know, uh, you know, you know, was statistics going to mess up my GPA? Lucky enough, it didn't. I was so glad. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an achievement, GPA, and to have it ruined because of some class that you're required to take just to get the degree. And I
Well,
mean, what do I remember of statistics? I don't even know what a standard deviation is, and I
Oh
know
yeah, I
manipulate
remember
it.
that too.
That's all I remember is the term standard deviation.
Yep, that's something I would never do. So like
I
it
went
was,
in.
yeah, and there was the pop, and then there was the population versus sample, and the
Okay, all right, that
oh,
rings a bell.
yeah, the perimeter statistic, quantitative data overview.
How,
Uh,
how many
oh my
hundreds of
god,
dollars in
yeah,
tuition for that? I
yeah,
know it does help. Not. I don't believe any education is
yeah.
worthless.
Hip hypnovisis testing, and oh my
I
god,
have no
and
clue.
yeah,
I have no clue what that is,
I
and no
try and forget.
memory.
I try and forget. I just try and forget it. I try and forget about it, to be honest. Hypnotest, hypnotesting, hypnophysis testing for a mean. Oh my god. Yeah, I remember this question.
I
So was
mean,
an oh my god, yeah.
I can.
Ugh.
I just got a flash of memory sitting in a classroom,
Hmm.
and but God, she was such a good teacher. Those are the people that really make a difference. And she was. I always remember. Um, it was a night class, so she worked at this was a side. She was an adjunct type of thing,
Hmm.
and she always came in a little messy. Like by the end of the day, her suit was wrinkled or this and that. I always remember that was just my impression. But man, she was just a great teacher because I felt smart, in the
Yeah.
sense I actually understood. Versus I've sit through other math class stuff where I was like, okay, I'll give it back to you, but I have no idea what the hell the point is. This,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, a flash of memory of sitting in a classroom.
Yeah. Oh my god. It just get it. It just get it just it just get it just get it just scares me. Oh my god.
Did you ever think of going back?
To school.
Yeah,
Um. It just scares me, to be honest.
because so much
Uh,
of it's home now online. I would think.
I know a lot of it's, I know a lot of it's online, but it's like transferring credits, and it's just doing. And I was looking at like doing a degree of sociology or something, but it's just
Hmm.
the fact that it's the fact that maths just there's more maths. I just hate maths, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's like these questions. Like, I've just found one here, and it's a volunteer ambulance service handles 0 to 5 calls on any given day. The probability distribution for the number
Oh,
of service calls is as, yeah,
oh my God, I have no
yeah,
idea. I
yeah,
have no idea.
it's stuff like that. Oh, and oh my god, this question too. The time between ambulance arrivals at the Methodist Hospital in ER follows an exponential distribution with a mean of 10 minutes. What is likelihood the next ambulance will arrive in 15 minutes or less?
Oh my God.
And then find the 80th percentile for the time between ambulance arrivals. This means only 20% of the runs are longer than this time.
I can
Yes,
I can feel my anxiety rising just the thought of it. Oh
and
God.
that's what I was like. That's what I was like. My anxiety was so high, and I hated doing it, and I was bitching about it. I'm doing this course, and I'm putting it off, and I'm trying to do it, and I'm sitting there with Excel, and I'm trying to figure stuff out. And eventually, it did make sense to me, and I did
Yeah,
be
it
able to do
does.
it. And they gave us some like Excel spreadsheets to help and put stuff in and solve stuff. But once I did that final test, and I knew I had certain percentage of questions right, and I had enough to get an A. I like, yeah, okay, I don't care no more.
Right, exactly. I don't even remember my grade. I'm sure it
Well, I
wasn't an A.
I still graduated with honors. Latin. It
That's
was called
wonderful.
summa cum laude or something. But
Ooh, that's wonderful. I was never that good a student.
yeah, I was just like, yeah. I just took my time with it, and put as much effort into it as I could. I did have to drop a class a couple of times. One time I had some shit going on, and the second time I dropped the class was because the professor was a a hard grader.
I I dropped a class, a math class, and then and Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
dropping that.
and
And then taking it with another, later on. I always had to take the math classes always came at the end, even though they were supposed to be in the beginning,
yeah,
because I just hated them. And yeah, I remember I I dropped one class, that class, and
yeah.
then
I
took
think
it later with a different professor and got through.
I think this. Yeah, she wanted that. Yeah, she wanted you to, you know, climb a hill, but be dressed to climb a mountain. She wanted too much,
Yep.
and I
Yeah.
could, and I just had this bad. I had this bad feeling, and
Mhm.
because I did, I did my, so I did something. And I put, I put a lot of effort. I've always put effort into my stuff. My previous grades, demonstrate that. And she was like, wasn't giving people full marks. I'm like, this ain't
Yeah.
right. I'm like, something's not. I'm like, no. I said, I'm not ruining my GPA. So I just called the college. I said, look, I don't want, I want to just do the course another time, and I like to, I like to drop off. And they're like, well, what's the reason why? I said, well, this professor's a tough grader.
Mhm.
And it wasn't, I did the same course, the same quality work, and I still passed the flying course.
Yep. Yep. That's it. It does make a difference.
And there was a thing called website called Wait. There's a website called Rate My Professor Down, and there was a bunch of people saying she was a tough grader
Yeah.
from the various places she'd been to play, because like I think a lot of these college professors work at different schools too at the same time, different part-time.
Yeah, the adjuncts
Yeah.
they do or yeah.
So yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to ruin my whole. I'm not going to ruin my. Um, I'm not going to ruin my GPA. So that's why I
Good
did it.
night, Waffles. Have a good night.
Good night, Waffles. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Lady Lone Wolf.
Hey, hey, Lady Lone Wolf. Long time no see. Where have you been? Where have you been hiding? But yeah, I would definitely. I would. I would drop a class again just to protect my grade. To be honest, I don't know. I just got so obsessed with it. To be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you're doing that well, I can understand it.
Yeah. So I ended up doing like two. I ended up doing two courses at once to catch up. So I was just doing one course every 8 weeks.
Oh, they
Because
had them in an 8-week period. That's good.
yeah, yeah.
But it's time and commitment. It's not easy,
Hmm.
especially if you're working as well
Yeah. I was doing all kinds of stuff, and so much going on and trying to and trying to do that.
and juggling it. Yeah, I'm sure it's so different now than when I went. And now especially with everything online and things like that. I can't imagine.
But yeah, I was looking at transferring my I was looking at transferring my college credits. And I don't want to. And that's the thing. I'm not saying I'm too old for it, but
You're never too old.
I'm getting old. I know that I'm getting a little bit older, and I don't want to take out student loans. I don't want, and not, not come out with a degree and not get a job and, everything else.
Yep. Yeah, those are fun to pay back.
So, I got, I got an associate's degree in community college. I got a scholarship. I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, that's better.
Zero. Hey, Tina, zero debt. My
Right,
first
Tina.
experience of the UK educational, of the US educational system. And I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I don't even know how much it costs nowadays. I kind of must be frightening.
Well, yeah, like when I went to college in the UK was when they first introduced tuition fees in the UK, and they were like, and it was like £1,000 a year to go to university in the UK.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was harder to get into a university, wasn't it, in the UK? Limited
Um,
space.
different universities were harder to get into than others.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had the Open University, which is like online, but they used to like show TV shows, and you could do like a Open University course,
Mm-hmm.
and you could it was that was easy to get into, and but depending on what qualifications you had and what you were trying to study, depending.
Right.
Yeah. So like I got onto a law degree in the UK, but I didn't like it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Well,
didn't.
it's not, and it's different in the UK with solicitor and barrister and all
Yeah,
the good training. I know,
yeah.
and that there's a lot of different types of type of training versus here. It's just
Hmm.
straightforward. You get out of law school and you're like, okay, I don't even know where the courthouse is.
It's just I didn't enjoy doing it. And then, cut a long story short, I ended up with getting a good job in a good company in a
Right,
in a bank. So
better,
not in
much
a, not
better.
not not in a bank branch, but in like the head office.
Right, I
And
know what you mean.
I ended up with a decent job there for a while.
Hmm.
So I just enjoyed doing that, to be honest, and didn't worry about going to school then
I
until I
don't blame
came
you.
over here. Then I did my degree over here, and that's about it, really.
Hmm.
Because my UK qualifications were not worth anything over here, to be honest.
Yeah,
You doing okay, Tina? By the way, but yeah. So, but I mean, you know, I guess I would like to study. I did enjoy studying criminal justice. I don't know if I could. I don't know how hard is it hard to study law in the US?
I don't know. It
Oh,
was so long ago. Well, I think it's not like it used to be. You hear these horror stories.
mm-hmm.
It's just time. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's a lot and a lot of.
It's a lot of time, and I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot of time and
And in
money
the
too.
beginning, it's a lot of learning how to read in a way, learning
Mm-hmm.
how to read something so that, like, when you first start, you may have, you read 20 pages, you have 20 notes, pages of notes on what you read.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
after you get through the first semester, you have 20 pages and you have 3 lines. You learn how, you know what I mean? It's learning how to pick things out that are relevant, how to, that kind of thing. And learning different the terminology. It's like any profession, like medical, any accounting is learn the first step is learning the terminology they use. Like with
Mm-hmm.
medicine, they use a lot of terms are Latin based.
Yeah.
You see
I
these
mean,
long, and it
yeah.
really, once you learn the translation, like I remember, once you learn, like I used to be able to read a medical chart, no problem, because we had enough cases and I learned how to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just putting in the time to learn what does this abbreviation stand for? What does that abbreviation stand for? What does this word translate? A hematoma is a black and blue mark. You know what I mean? But you have to
Yeah,
learn.
I had a hematoma after my surgery last year.
Right. You have
Yeah.
to learn that though. So you understand what they're even talking about, like as a
Mm-hmm.
basic rule. And it's the same thing, it's with any profession. And once you get past that, but that's a time commitment in and of itself to
Yeah.
learn those terms so you understand what they're talking about.
Because I remember it in the UK, and I remember doing like criminal law, for example, and I remember learning about menswear
Hmm.
and actus reus. So actus reus is the crime itself, and the menswear is the intentionally.
Yeah, the old
And
Latin. Yeah.
yeah, and like say it GT intent did grievous bodily harm intentionally. You have to have menswear and actus reus to be convicted of a crime, the intention and doing the crime itself.
Yeah, what is the
Yeah,
prima facie case?
yeah, yeah,
What are
yeah.
which basically is, what are the elements? What do you have to prove? One, two, three, four.
And
But
then
you have to be able to stand
yeah,
that.
and then a lot of it in the UK it was all precedents.
Oh yeah,
So and so case.
here
You know.
too. But I mean, that's how you learn. But that's once you get past that,
Hmm.
you can get past that hump in the beginning. Then
Hmm.
it's like anything else. It's just what you put
Yeah,
into it.
yeah,
But
like the duty of care was Donovan versus Stevenson or something. It was about someone going to someone going to a restaurant and there was a snail in the drink and they had food poisoning and the restaurant owed them a duty of care and that's how you based duty of care. And then there was a
in New York,
contract
yeah,
contract law and there was another one. It was like somebody versus Boots Cash Chemists and
yeah,
it was
those
about,
still
it
exist.
was about invitation. It was about an invitation to treat. So like a shop can refuse to sell you something if the price is wrong in the UK
Yes,
because if I take something and it and the shop can say nope, you're not having it.
Yeah, there was Paul's graph was a big tort case, and
Yeah, because they see it as an
mentioned twice.
they see it as an invitation to treat, and there's no contract because the shop can say nope. It does. You don't. There's no contract form till you pay for. Till you pay for an item. So if say I walked into a shop in the UK and ribeye steak was being rung up for 20 pence instead of £50, for example.
Hmm.
The shop can say nope. I'm not going to sell you that. It's a mistake. There's no contract. You can't.
Yeah.
You could do. You could go into Karen mode and complain about it, but legally they don't have to give it.
Yeah.
They don't legally have to give it to you. It's all like it's all different precedents and stuff. Each precedent determines duty of care,
Right.
contract.
The Karen mode. I like that. That's a non-legal term. The Karen mode.
Yeah, and then I remember promise estoppel too.
Oh God, yeah. The terms I haven't thought of in years.
And another favorite one of mine was the causation chain of events.
That's Paul's graph.
Yeah,
That's a big one. I mean, everybody studies that in law school.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the lady running for the train.
Yeah, all these UK, all these UK friggin' presidents
Yeah.
and stuff.
And then you get a job and you don't use it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, yeah, it just teaches you the way to analyze things. That's all. It teaches you how to analyze. But again,
Yeah,
like anything else, it's just a commitment, I guess.
yeah,
That's somebody looking back so many years ago. When I was through it, it was horrible. Not a horrible. It was just a time consuming thing. And I went straight from, from college to law school. So it was I don't know, some school they want you to have some life experience, and I understand why.
yeah.
Because you
And
look,
it's like the bank credit card company I used to work for. They wanted people to become team leaders and managers with life experience
yeah,
because they
and
want
you
people,
understand why.
and that makes sense. They want people with common. They want people with common sense. Yeah, people with common sense.
Well, you've had experience taking the principles you've learned to apply to
Hmm.
the everyday life, which is not an easy step in and of itself.
Hmm.
So you understand why they do it.
Exactly, and it's great. And it's crazy. There's just like there's certain cases. There's certain cases I remember. I remember, and I remember one time. I went to the Social Security office here in the States, and the reason being was I had my Social Security card had a restriction on printed on the card. Valid for work only with the Department of Homeland Security. So I wanted the Social Security office to know that I was a citizen now and not a green
Oh,
card,
okay. Right.
and so I took my passport there, and
Hey, Abyss.
so hey this, so I take my passport to the and the office for me is like a half an hour drive away,
Uh-huh.
and I went in the office, said, hey, I want to change my status. Here's my ID. And here's my US passport. And she says, well, no, we can't do that here. We need a copy of your naturalization certificate. So I did a little Google search and looked at the Social Security handbook. Passport was fine. And I
Uh-huh.
said, and I'm like, well, he says, I'm looking at your handbook. Can you actually point me which page in the handbook says you need my naturalization certificate? Can I have a supervisor, please?
My favorite line. Can I have a supervisor, please?
So they end up, and guess who wins? Me.
Yep.
Because my question was, can you show me which page in your handbook says that I have to have my naturalization certificate? Because my passport is, my passport, my US passport is valid ID that I'm a legal US citizen.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just stuff. It's stuff like that. I enjoy. I enjoy Little Town. I
That
enjoy.
stuff drives me crazy. And I'm a dog with a bone. I'm the same type. It's like, can I speak to a
Yeah,
manager? Where does it
yeah,
say it? And but it's so time consuming.
Well, I had to. Well, it's funny. I had to make a call today, and I had some money got deposited into my PayPal. It was from a class action lawsuit,
Oh,
and and I didn't know I was getting it. I didn't know I was part of it, but apparently I was, and then
yeah.
they based it off my email address. And the
Uh-huh.
email address they have that I use as my main email address still has a UK PayPal because
Oh,
I couldn't convert my UK PayPal to a US PayPal because they're two separate. Even though it's the same company, two different countries. So I've
yeah,
got this
they
money.
were
I've got this money sitting
money
in my
laundering.
I've got this money sitting in my PayPal.
Oh no.
So I've not been in my UK PayPal for years. Um, trying to get in. Answer the security questions. They want to text me a security code to a old UK cell phone number I had.
That's the scary thing about the phone number, the two-step
Yeah.
verification.
So I had to call them and call a number. It was a UK number. I used the Text Me Now app. Didn't have to pay for it. So and it's like hey Abyss, by the way, and it's like hey, thank you for calling PayPal, and it's in an English accent instead of American accent.
Uh-huh.
So it's in HD sound for me, and of course, I'm still I'm in America, calling England, and I get put through to in the Indian call center.
Oh God. Oh, this outsourcing is driving me crazy.
And they were very efficient, I will say that. And they fixed it for me, and I was able to transfer the money over to a US PayPal. But yeah,
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm trying. One of my doctor's office. I think they've outsourced their telephone.
hmm
So if you call, like, the prescription isn't working, or this, you want to speak to the
yeah,
doctor, or you really want to speak to the physician's
yeah,
assistant, whatever. You're getting people from another country who don't quite get the English,
yep,
or like, to me, I always, you know, I get the person's name who I'm talking to. It's just my normal thing. And I swear to God, I thought the guy who thought I was like trying to get him in trouble or something because I asked for his name. And
hmm
this long pause, like he didn't know how to handle it, like I was threatening or something. It's just all right, it's my normal thing. That's why people give you their name.
yep,
And I was like, oh, what country am I in now? Which it sounds impatient, but they don't understand, but I don't know. They just don't get maybe the local, especially with the doctor's office. It's local. That's not national. It shouldn't be national. It shouldn't be international. It shouldn't be, they're reading a script. I mean, I think I interrupted and he had to go back and start in the beginning of the script. And I'm trying to be patient, but I'm
and
not.
yeah,
But
and
it's
the
like,
and you know what? I believe that the outsourcing of all the customer service jobs to India is the reason why we got phone scammers calling from India
maybe, I don't know, but it just,
because it's the same because they're all setting up call centers in these buildings, and I think
maybe,
it's too much of a coincidence.
yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I don't know, e- but
Because what
work,
happened was, the UK Student Loans Company Limited, who did the UK student loans, they outsourced all their work to India. Their back office work was going to India, and all these students were getting money, and it wasn't a lot of money. It was like £3,000, £4,000 a year to live off being a student, and basically, these students were getting begging letters from India
oh, yeah, that's,
because that
yeah,
was a lot because to them that was a lot of money, and that's when
yeah,
all that. And I
yeah,
believe all your data's in India, and it's all being compromised that way too. And I think it's too much. It's too much of a coincidence. But when I used to work for the bank for the bank in England, we used to deal with like authorization stuff. Sometimes anything suspicious will go to my department.
right,
And
right.
we used to I used to do like sometimes I would do authorizations like live authorizations
Mm-hmm.
for like credit and debit cards when the shop gets told to call the bank.
Right.
And one of the banks in the UK, it used to be called Midland Bank, but
Yeah, I've heard the name.
it got taken over by HSBC,
Mm-hmm.
and they outsourced their authorization center to Australia. So I'm looking at so basically, if the shop banked with HSBC, the shop would have to call HSBC. HSBC outsourced their authorization center to India, and then the authorization center in India would have to call England, call my bank, and then my bank will put them through to my department because
That's
you know
ridiculous.
their account was with us. So the person in the shop is speaking to India, and you know the woman from India is going in between calls between two different banks, a shop and another bank.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it
So
doesn't make sense, but it's normal. Yeah.
so you know, so in my department, you know, we didn't ask questions like, you know, we used to do security checks on accounts and stuff, and you know, and you know, I get I get this particular case, you know, call case, whatever you want to call it, and you know, I'm going for the account. You know, my department, we did not ask mother's maiden name or date of birth
Hmm.
because people know that. You know, people hate
Right.
questions.
Yeah, it's
People, you know,
common.
people know that shit. And so I'm asking questions like, you know, what's the first line of the, you know, we ask crazy questions like, if you lived in London, for example, what's the name of the nearest tube station from their previous address? You know, what's their, you know, what country did you visit in June last year?
Okay. No, that's
What's the name of your internet service provider you pay a bill to once a month?
that's a good one.
You know, and I did this question, and I, you know, because I'm looking for the, you know, I look for the, because my job is to look for the account, for look for like signs and stuff like change of address and new cards
Right.
being ordered at the same time, and you know, anything dodgy going on.
Hmm.
And basically, you know, I asked the HSBC bank, and can you tell the customer what off license to go to, you know, regularly? And they're like, what is an off license? You know, basically it's a liquor store.
Right.
So
Yeah. Okay.
the reason why they call it an off license is a pub in the UK. The landlord has a license to sell alcohol on and off the premises.
Okay.
So you can, you know, you can drink beer in a pub, and you can take beer off the premises and drink it at home.
Oh, okay.
But an off license only has a license to sell beer off the premises. You can't
Well,
drink beer inside an off license. Hence
good
it's called an
question.
off license. Yeah,
That's a good question. Yeah, if you didn't know.
yeah. But you know, India, you know, he's in, you know, this India, they don't know a lot about the, you know, they didn't know a lot
No,
about the
that's it.
culture over there.
You're talking to people who just they don't know,
So
and
like,
that's not their fault. Yeah.
so you know, you're relaying these security questions to the person in India, and then the person in is, you know, asking the cardholder all these questions. You know, not, you know, they'll get pissy sometimes, but there would always be a good reason why.
Right.
And then after, you know, after we authorize the transaction, we'll say, hey, can the customer please call this number, and we'll give them our, you know, we'll give them our special number, and that's what we would do. So
Yeah. I mean, it's the two verify. That's like with phone numbers. It's now become. I mean, if I lost my phone,
yeah,
it would. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to sign in at work because I work remotely. So,
hmm
there's so many things I would have difficulty with because of the two-step verification.
but yeah, I mean, I'm the same. You know, I'm the same way too. This, yeah, this stuff I couldn't get into too because of this
Yeah.
two-step verification. You know that eBay phone call was a good example of it, and I thought, you know, I thought they were going to be asking, you know, I thought they were going to be asking for security questions and ask for ID and ask for this, but all he did was, you know, he just said, well, what's the first line of your what was your, you know, what was your old address? And I just said, it was, you know, what it was, blah blah blah, and
Right.
I
Hey,
rem- I,
Chris.
re- I remembered it. Lucky enough, 17 years ago.
That's it. I mean, sometimes some of these questions. I mean, I have to admit, I have a. They're like, "What's your address?" And it's y- like
Yeah.
what? You start thinking, was what? Like, hold on, I got to
hmm
start thinking about it. Then you start getting nervous to me anyway.
Because
Um,
you know, because like, talking about credit card fraud, for some of these people would get so people would, you know, people would know, you know, people would take over people's accounts and do identity theft, and
yeah,
they will know the person's basic information.
yeah.
So like I had this, you know, I had one day one of our bank branches was calling, and somebody was requesting 10,000 English pounds in cash,
Mm,
a cash advance. Anything like that goes to my department,
yep.
and my job is to make sure that it's the customer getting that amount of money, is the customer getting that amount of money authorized.
Hmm.
So they come with a card, some sort of ID. I'm looking. So first thing I do is I look on the screen on their credit card account, and I just look at any. You know, I look at, like, the first thing I always check was, a change of address.
Mm-hmm.
There had been a change of address within the past week or so, and on the same day the change of address, there was new cards had been ordered.
There was what?
New credit cards had been ordered.
Okay.
So that's suspicious because it's a change of address, and it's
Uh,
new cards have been ordered on the same day.
got it.
And they were another thing they'd done as well is they were trying to get they're trying to get cash. They had moved from southwest London to East London. So I know from my experience of London, I know that southwest London is a posh part of London,
Right.
and East
Right.
London's not as posh
No,
as southwest London.
Right.
It's like moving from Manhattan to the Bronx, for example.
Right.
And so I said, and I'm like, can you call the police, please? To the branch, said, yeah, we need. Can you call the police? I said,
He was
yeah,
taking
yeah,
local knowledge, and and once you remove that local knowledge, I mean,
yeah,
just calling some of these, the questions they ask,
and
and
that's what
I try to be nice,
and that's what
but
happened.
occasionally you get me
Yeah,
in the wrong mood. I had somebody who didn't understand, who really wasn't very fluent in English. I mean,
hmm
they knew English, but they weren't fluent. So the way the questions were asked were like,
yeah,
what? Like,
yeah,
what are you asking me? I mean, to the point where I have to admit, I wasn't in a good mood, and I'm like, I said, do you understand English? I mean, it wasn't very nice, but I just was not in the mood for this.
yeah. And they also and that job I had at the bank, they outsourced it to India.
That's it.
Yeah,
And
they outsourced. And when I moved over here, I was on guard. I was still getting a check because I was on gardening leave. Basically, I was getting paid for doing nothing.
uh,
Yeah, when I moved over here, and yep, and they transfer everything. But but if you're somebody from you've got that local knowledge to to know things and
right,
how and know how to look at an account and look at people
exactly,
spend because this I used to look at people's spend I used to do authorizations and look at people's account history to look for change of address or anything suspicious or
right.
just crazy weird stuff and
And once,
and it was always the cash transactions or it was always a certain ethnic not being racist but there was a certain ethnic group who you would have to be careful of too because they would
right,
they would have to they would they were high
more
risk.
prevalent.
Yeah, nothing. I'm not being racist or nothing.
No,
I'm not.
no, there's certain. No,
No.
statistically,
Yeah.
there's more prevalence in that
Yeah.
community, or they're
Yeah.
prey to that community is they're prey to
Yeah.
fraudsters, so they use that ethnicity as a
Yeah.
feeding ground or
You
scapegoat.
know, I
So
like
they get labeled, unfortunately, but
yeah because
it's when the fraud, when
yeah because what they used to do was they would apply for a card. They would use the whole £500 limit, and then they would you know write a bad check against the card, write a bad check against the card, and
yeah, they did that in
yeah,
England. We never wrote checks on car, or not really.
yeah,
I
and
remember
then
that was a very big thing, writing a
yeah,
check.
they would write a bad check, and they would get the money. They would try and get the money before the check had cleared, and it was just it was just being it was just being it was just things you had to look out for, and
Mhm.
and a lot of the time it'll be like a person who was foreign, and they will be I'm calling on behalf of my friend.
Yeah, I've been watching, like, with this travel. There are a couple of the
Yeah.
YouTube. Now, yeah, we all know Nigerian scams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of these YouTube channels who are run by Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the one of the things you see in all these channels is, I got a passport from St. Kitts.
Yep.
It's because there are a lot of because to get a visa, and things you don't realize, for them to get a visa in other countries, they have, first of all, they have to get a visa to travel.
Yeah.
Um, and there are countries they're not all they it's almost impossible to get a visa, or they can't go, just simply because of the country they live in.
Yeah.
So they're you can buy a visa, you can, like, $100,000. They got their subs to pay for it, and you can, if you 150,000 dollars, you can get a passport from the St. Kitts and Nevis Islands from the Caribbean. you pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I've been watching these travel things, and the creators from Nigeria. It's like I've watched like 3 or 4 of them where I got a passport. I go to visit my new country. I was like, oh my God.
It's crazy. That's
I mean,
crazy.
if it's on a YouTube channel, it can't be that, all right,
Hmm.
it's a lot of money and stuff, but I guess it's if it's trickled down to YouTube, how many people have done that?
Hmm.
Simply because they come from a country that unfortunately has a reputation of scammers.
Yeah, sure. There was there was certain types and certain types of people who had a bad reputation for scammers, and it was if it was a new account, I would have to look at the application and
Oh yeah,
try and get security questions from there because someone's not right, and if you've got a friend calling on your behalf and claiming that the other person doesn't speak English,
oh God,
that's a big red flag too. So
yep,
what I used to have to do was hey, nope, we need to speak to the cardholder. Can you have him come into the branch with ID, or if it was a certain language if that someone in the office spoke,
right.
um we could get them to take over, and they would have to they would do the call themselves.
That's one
So,
good thing. Finally, in the U.S., when I was growing up, they never taught
hmm.
another language in elementary school.
Hmm.
And they learned, and so that they finally starting with the second language, because by the time you hit high school, or you're
Hmm.
that part of your brain hasn't developed. They've learned that your ability to
Hmm.
speak another language, it is affected by certain areas of your
Yeah.
brain,
Yeah.
and your way of thinking, and so that we're not conversed in second languages where a lot of the rest of the world is, and I think that's changed, which is good.
And that's same as UK. I mean, I learned French. I did French and German in school. I did German for a year. Didn't like it, but I did French in school. And then working for the bank, somebody found out I knew some French. So hey, GT, you know French? Can you do with this call? I'm like, well, my French ain't that good, but I'll try. So like I'm doing a mixture of I call it froglet. A mixture between French, mixture between French and English. So like I'm on the phone and once people are watching me, and I'm like bonjour, bonjour, monsieur, and I'm like je m'appelle JT, je
Mhm.
travaille pour le banque, blah blah blah. And I'm trying, I'm trying to tell him in broken French and English that it's a security check,
Right.
and it was because his UK card was being used in France, and we see a lot of issues in France.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to ask him security questions like, like où est la bank where you open the account and where, and which friends. I'm like, oh my God, people are pressed with me. I'm like, oh my God, I never want to do that again.
Yeah, yeah, I took French too, but I was I even when I was studying it, I could read it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't understand somebody speaking.
And I'm trying to ask him security questions and broken French and English. But I got to the point where I was happy it was him.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God.
Versus now, there's so many. I think it's great. I think I think it's great, a great thing that they started right away. School now.
I wish they did languages in like elementary school. I
Well, they
start you
do.
start you off early. They never did it in my in.
Yeah.
I wasn't like 10 or 11 years old till I learned French. But
I was 14.
I would
Yeah.
have loved to have done it at a younger age because I would have
That's
been I was good at French. My French teacher begged me to stay on and study French.
well.
That's how good I was
That's
at it.
good. Yeah. Now I know around here they start right away. They start in elementary
Yeah.
school right away.
And it would, I mean, I would have been a lot. I mean, I would have been a lot. I would have been. I mean, I would have maybe been a lot more fluent in it, to be honest.
That's it. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I didn't do it till I was like 10, 11 years old, and I stopped studying at like 16 years old, to be honest. I did it like for 5 years. But if I had done it for 10 years,
Yeah.
uh,
I know.
and
I
I did
agree.
try doing advanced level French, but the problem with the advanced level French was you doing like the French you did in high school, and then the advanced level is like a big jump,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it confuses the hell out of you.
Yeah. I had to take it in college.
And
Like
I didn't like it like that. I'd be fair to do the French that I know but move on to more French instead of being, they expect you to be fluent of it in 5 years. There's just no way you can be.
No, no. And it's yeah, and I was so the first time when I went to France, my first reaction in France was, oh my God, they speak French. You know, that's really was I was like, they're speaking French. Don't they speak English? That's how stupid I am. Because and man, I had no clue. It's like this stupid American here has no idea what the hell you're talking about.
It was so funny. It was so funny. I remember my first time, and it was a coach trip with the school. I was like, my first year of school after studying French, and we go to France to try and learn our thing. And I remember go. It was like a 6 hour coach journey to Dover to get the ferry, and then I remember seeing the light cliffs of Dover for the first time and being on a
Oh, Dover's
ferry
beautiful. Yeah.
ferry boat for an hour and a half, and then
Mhm.
I remember we went to a place called Boulogne. The
Uh-huh.
was and I just remember going there and ordering food in French and just doing a bit of shopping, getting a baguette, bringing chocolate back and stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool. And then have to do that long journey back. So we left at like it was like we left at like 7 o'clock at night, UK time. We probably got to like Dover like midnight, and then you got on the ferry really early in the morning. Then you get to like France at like maybe early in the morning, like 6 or 7, maybe I forgot.
Mhm.
And then you probably leave, late afternoon, and you don't get home till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's a long journey for a day trip to France. Long journey.
We did the Calais thing, and then I, I, I like to ask maitre d's and waiters what's a good place to go that's
Mm-hmm.
non-touristy. So we ended up in this place in farm country
Uh
in
huh.
Audlez, which was between Calais and Boulogne.
Yep.
And it's little town cobblestone streets. I mean, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We were just for lunch, and all the people I was with were British, and me, the American. And you hear French don't like the Americans, this and that. They could not have been nicer. They was so, and the food was the best food I've ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the chef came out to they came out to the table, which it was a small little. Oh,
Yeah.
it was the best afternoon I had, and the food was just unfreaking believable. And of course, like I had like escargot and but and they were especially nice to me, which really pissed off the British. And they're looking at it because I'm struggling trying because all they spoke was French. They don't, so which didn't bother anybody else, but just I was trying to remember. I'm like going through my mind, like, what does this? I studied, what is the word with, and I confused with and without,
Yeah.
I was,
Avec and Avec AVEC is with.
or is it sans is
Yeah.
without,
Is about, yeah. Correct. Yeah.
and I screwed it up with the escargot with garlic, and I said instead without garlic. And when the dish came, I was like, no. And of course, the New Yorker means they come out, oh, how is and I'm like, nah, it stinks. And all of a sudden there's an eruption, and I'm like, I had no idea. So all of a sudden the chef's out, and this and that, and I'm like, no, it's all right, And then so I got another dish with
Mm-hmm.
garlic, and they were so nice, and it was like I said, when we left, I came out to say goodbye. The chef came out, but they could not have been nicer.
And it is nice. There's certain parts of France that are really nice, like the.
But yeah, that's it. It was in it. The reputation has to do with Paris, but the reputation. Look, I've seen tourists in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
where they say New Yorkers are horrible. I've seen. I remember this one day there was, and then they were French. They were on a
Mm-hmm.
bus, and they were trying to figure out if they had a transfer to.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on the bus was like trying to give them directions in France, and all these horrible New Yorkers were going out of their way. I think somebody finally walked them to where the transfer was.
Oh, cool.
You know, so you get a reputation, but in reality, I think it's just people are busy. In big
Mm-hmm.
cities, people they're trying to get to work, they're trying to get home, they're trying to do this, so they may not be as
Yeah.
nice as they appear to be. But if you need, I in New York, I've never seen really anything horrible with tourists. People, I've seen people go above and beyond. Actually,
I found New York City amazing, to be honest, when I went there for the first time. That was my first time ever going to the States too.
I love it. It is something.
And I came out the subway at Times Square,
Oh God.
and I was just gobsmacked.
I'm determined to find to this year. My one thing is I want to go to the Statue of Liberty. You know, like
Hmm.
anything else, if sometimes if you're from the place, you've
Yeah.
never gone to. I mean, I've gone to a lot of the tourist things because over the years, like my sister lived in LA, but she would come visit, and if she'd bring friends, we do the New York City tour for the day. And I'd start this shows you like the World Trade Center, and then bring for lunch in Chinatown to Little Italy, get them back on the subway. I don't know how many times over the years I've done it, up to Midtown, depending on where they wanted to go.
Hmm.
And, and by the end of the day, they're bedraggled because I've had them up and down the subway stairs all over the place. But the one place I've never really been is the Statue of Liberty, and that's the one thing I want to do.
I've seen it.
Oh,
I've
I've
seen it
seen it.
from the I've seen it from the Staten Island ferry.
Yeah, I've seen it. And you just look, you drive over the Verrazano
Yeah.
Bridge, you see it. You know what I mean? It's you see it all the time, but it's just
Hmm.
but I think it's maybe because I live here, I've never been there. You know, I
But
never
yeah,
took the time.
yeah. But I remember. I mean, I remember when went to New York. When I went to New York to States for the first time. So I flew with Lufthansa. So I
Mhm.
flew from London Heathrow to like it was either like I think it was either Munich. It might be Munich. So
Oh,
I flew from London to Munich, um, and I'm sitting. I'm there at the plane, and the gate agent is my ex girlfriend's sister.
oh God, small
And
world.
yes, Heathrow is the biggest airport in the UK.
It's huge.
Big, huge airport. Lots of flights, lots of gates, different terminals. This Lufthansa flight to Munich, and I'm like, oh my, I'm like, oh my, okay, and it's and and I must show them my passport, give it a boarding card. I'm like, oh my god. So um, I'm on the, I'm sitting there on this Lufthansa plate, and they said there's a ham sandwich and a beer. I never drunk a freaking beer so fast in my life. Yeah, just I was just in shock seeing that. So I flew to flew on that plane to Munich, nice beer, and then I got on the plane. I got on the big plane from Munich all the way to New York then.
Hmm.
Because it was cheaper flying that way. So I went for immigration, landed in New York, landed in New York City, and got on some kind of subway. I got a little bit freaked out at first because it was a crazy lady. So I was sitting there, I was coughing a little bit, and this woman is copying everything I do. If I cough, she coughs. If I move, she moves.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my bloody god, get me off this bloody train. So I ended up changing somewhere from. I remember changing from JFK, going on the subway. Then eventually I made it out, and I got out of onto Times Square.
Hmm.
I was gobsmacked. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, you forget, work when you work in the city, which I've done. Um, it's a schlep. You got to take the train to the sub, and then you got to take the subway, and then you got to do the,
Yeah.
and it becomes so routine you don't even
Hmm.
notice it. That okay, I'm on 42nd Street and and Madison. Okay, where do I have to go now? It becomes
Hmm.
so routine that you don't even notice it. And then all of a sudden you'll see something. Like I remember, and it was somebody again but it was on YouTube, and this was years ago. It was somebody who was visiting New York, and had put through this lovely video about her time,
Hmm.
and I know it showed some things in Queens and stuff that I hadn't seen, but it was just, and I wrote a comment like it was, thank you, because I forget what it's like as a tourist, like as somebody visiting, because when you do it every day, it's just a routine. And it was funny. She wrote in the comment back. She was like, "I'm from Moscow, and I know exactly how you mean because when I'm home
Mm,
in Moscow, it's the same thing. You don't notice what visitors notice because you see it every day.
yeah, exactly. It's true.
You know, it
You
becomes routine. Although my brother used to say, he's like, you do become a snob. 'Cause I remember my first impression of like, oh, I think I had to go to a wedding in Pittsburgh, right?
hmm
And Pittsburgh, it's a lovely city. We just basically drove through it to get to this wedding. But you know, and I'm sitting in the car. I was like, what a nice little city, you know. And he was like, you're such a freaking New York snob. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because he had moved out of New York for years. And he's like, everything's little. I was like, well, you know, I can't. I'm comparing it to my reality, okay? My reality is Manhattan, all right?
hmm
So compared to Manhattan, this is a little city,
Yeah,
you know, and you don't
and I
realize your perspective on things.
and I'm the same way here. People say it's a city where I live. And I'm like, no, it is not a city. It is a
Exactly.
it's a small little country town or whatever.
Mhm.
I said it is not a city. I said a city. I'm like a city is like where I'm from. I'm from, I'm from the the suburbs of Liverpool. I'm from a built-up area. That is a city.
Exactly.
Not a, but like Liverpool is a city where I'm from. Across the water from Liverpool is actually a town, but it's a very, it's
You've
a
been
big,
exposed,
it's a
you
big
know.
built up area. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and New York City to me made London look like a village.
Well, it's different because they say in New York, because it didn't grow out, it grew up.
Yeah.
You know, they only had so much land in Manhattan or even in the other islands, so it went up to the sky rather than out, you know. And so, you know, it's just elevator rides. You know, it becomes to that. It's like, okay, what for? You know.
And it's still, it's still, it still amazes me. But yeah, it's a lot, it's a lot more, it's a lot more different. It's a lot more different now, visiting the UK as a tourist now because I don't live, because I don't live over there.
Yeah. Well, to me in the UK, my favorite was the Tower of London because I love
hmm
history.
Yeah.
And um I thought a long time I always take a tour. Like, you
hmm
know, museums, like when I did the British Museum, I took a tour, you know, with the tour, you know, the tour guide, but at the museum. And
hmm
so the first 2 hours or hitting the high points of a museum. And then you can go back and look at what you want, or because some of these museums you could spend days and days, you know, there.
hmm
Um, and the same thing with the tour. They have the beef eaters, you know, and they were ex-military, all of these guys, these tour guides, and very eloquent and funny, and you know, and but I like history, so to me that was, I expected, you know, that as an American, everything here does not predate 1700s, you know what I
Yep.
mean?
hmm
So when you go over to Europe, you're seeing things that are just so old compared to what we see here
hmm
as history. So to me, the tower, because it went back to medieval times, is just fascinating.
Yeah. It's like where I live, where I'm from, 17 miles away. There's another city called Chester,
Hmm.
and the Romans used to call it Diva, and that has a lot of Roman remains and Roman, a big Roman influence.
Yeah, so we
But
don't go back that far.
and there's stuff there, there's stuff there, from 2,000 years old and stuff. It's really, the history is really great there. But then one of the things over there is that when you're on like the high street or main street in a shopping center, they have these people and they're called chuggers, Chuggger, and they annoy the shit out of you. They work for chat. They get paid commission or paid hourly, and they
Hmm.
work for charity. And their job is to try and convince you to sign up to give a monthly donation to charities,
Oh,
and they get on my tits. So, and I love telling them I don't live in the UK no more. I'm a tourist. I live in the States. I don't have a UK bank account. Go
yes, you
away.
explain. I just, as a New Yorker, would just either
Yeah,
just say, get away.
and this black
You're obnoxious.
and they call them chuggers because it's a play on the word mugger and charity. So it's like a new term for them, chuggers. But it's like just
Oh,
stuff like that. I don't miss about the UK, but they get on my nerves. So it is a lot more. It's a lot more different. It's a lot more different seeing the UK as a tourist
yes,
place
yeah.
now than it is.
Yeah, I hear that in Times Square they have people they dress in costume
Yeah.
and that would they prey on the tourists because they the tour I guess the tourists they think okay here's somebody dressed as Spider-Man, they think it's oh that's funny, that's great, they'll take a picture, and then of course they want payment and the tourists don't expect that. They
Mm-hmm.
had to I mean I think they finally had that, and they were so obnoxious that they
Yeah.
finally had to like do regulations of trying to keep them in a certain area, Times Square, because the tourists were just bombarded by these people, and
Yeah.
trying to keep some kind of rules and regulations of these people to stop them from preying on tourists.
Yeah.
And because the tourists are polite, New Yorkers would say, "Get the fuck out of my face," and they wouldn't hesitate to do it simply because when you're inundated with so many things and so many people, you just have to learn to be a little rude.
Mm-hmm. You do, yeah. And these truckers just annoy the shit out of me in England. I'm like, just go away. I said, I don't live in the UK no more. I don't have a UK bank account. I don't, I'm here on holiday. I'm
Yeah,
I'm just visiting family.
yeah. You
So
was, well, that's it. You as soon as you open your mouth, I realized that you were British.
yeah, I know, but I got that little redneck trying in me sometimes. So that's what my family says.
Well, I had
But,
some. I had a hot dog vendor who tried to rip me off once because I
mm-hmm.
was around. I don't know what park I was working, and I just went down for a hot dog and a soda, and instead of charging me $2, he charged me four. So he gave me, and I looked at the change he gave me back, and I went back there and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "Oh, you're from here? Oh, I thought you were a tourist." I was like, "I should report you."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh no, let me give you the right change." I said, "Yeah, give me the right change." I said, "You're ripping off tourists. You should be ashamed of yourself."
Yeah, because it creates it creates a bad image of a certain city.
It does. It does. Well, I
So,
gotta go to bed. Luckily, I
yeah, me too.
slept. That's why
I'm
I'm
gonna
wide
go
awake at almost 4.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night anyway too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's
it
like
was nice talking to you,
you
GT.
too. Well, everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for Kathy for coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
Good
Everyone
night.
have a great night. Take care, everyone. Catch you all again soon.